Good night. This is the Cutting Edge on RFM. Listen to Brigadier Jerry before that. I will play before that. Glenn Washington. Ah, yes, my brethren. The man called Concrete Asphalt. Catching me up. Tell us that this weekend I was one of the weekends of weekends, man. I mean, me gone out Friday night, come home 2 o'clock. Me gone out Saturday night, come home 2 o'clock. Me gone out Sunday night, come home 2 o'clock. No, me gone out Sunday night, I never go home. And last night again, Monday night, me gone out again. Why you love Richard Stevens celebrating his 50th birthday Monday, may I tell you? Yes, may I tell you, man, it was exciting, man. Hope Garden, Third World, Chronics, Jesse Royal, Steve Marley. Saturday, Bob Marley Museum again. Sunday, we're going to Mobile. Artists Against Violence. Big concert, like thousands of people. We love it. Why you love Mackie Conscious. And then Monday, was at Richard Stevens' house. I celebrate with him 50th birthday, may I tell you. So, we're there with you. All we are going there with you. And say this weekend again, we're going on the grill. General Trees, we're going on the grill. But yes, Rasta Fest, herbs and all these things. Anyway, we're going to play this tune now. Well, that song, him don't sing it good at all. No, Peter Tosh, trust me. No one you have totally. No. Where's the asphalt? No, me, I'll tell you, man. Give me Dennis Brown any day with that tune, man. Dennis Brown any day with that tune, man. Peter Tosh, trust me, you don't even try. Peter Tosh, I try, man, to lick a green apples, that's all, but I don't know, to me it not work out. It not work out for me, neither, personally. Peter Tosh, have you heard this, but you have to call a spade when the spade is a spade. Hey, warm up through to her. Warm up through to her. Paul get a blow. Anyway, Willie Williams, Uri, big tune, brand new. I watch Uri at the Ska and Rock City Festival up at Ronnie Williams Center. I'll tell you, man, the man fresh. Why you love Uri, believe you me, you're going good. Trust me, you're going good, man. Uri, still about a rock audiences. Why you know big youth, trust me. Hey, I don't know if I'm imagination, but it come like the vintage artists them and take another life again on stage, Yeah, man, it come like the vintage artists them it's like them born again. Believe you me, trust me. Come and say big youth come out on the stage and wreck the place the other day up at Hope Yard there, Why you love big youth? Yeah, man, I'm a brethren. From a longer time, my brethren. So, say, I can't take the apple out of my mouth. I have to really bite a good bite off of the apple. We have to bite a good bite off of the apple. So, you know, we have to give you this one. Believe you me. Past a long time. Jennifer Lara, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. We're there with you. So we're going to do a program tonight, and we love. Occasionally we do them kind of program, we call it programs for Christians. Yes, program for Christians. We want to do a Christian program, especially in this time of the year. Yeah, we want to play a tape, especially for my listeners who are Christians. So don't bother. All who depend on the other side, nobody can say, hey, what kind of thing that Muta play? Yes, all you too have to listen to these things to get a understanding and a grasp of where you're there and where you say, and why people say what them say and do what them do without even knowing the origin of these things. So we'll take you back to the origin of certain things. You understand? So why we can't say put your tape on cock again because no tape not about again. Maybe you can set up your computer in a way where you can record it. I wait till it go up on YouTube. Why you love Duke BAYSEE? Why up Duke BAYSEE, you know? Believe you be Duke BAYSEE. Well, you left out the Cuban music there, Rasta. We want you up all the people them who say Muta, you see that program where you did last week? Shot. See what? My engineer had shaking my head. My head drop off, you know. You didn't love the Cuban music then? Huh? You learn whole heap. All right, sir. That me love you the youth them say. Learn whole heap. A Romain in that studio. Romain. Okay, I get the name right this time. All me have to think about is Romain Virgo. Remember your name. All right. So, what me I say is that I want to yell up all the people them who call me and text me and say, yes, Muta, the program about Fidel Castro and Cuba was wonderful, especially like how we did play the Cuban music them. I think it's that grab the people them, the Cuban music them over there play. So we give thanks to that. We give thanks when we do them things there. Different people respond to it. And we love the response where we get. We love the response. And you're the little engineer you'd say a while ago. Yes, him love it. Okay, so tonight, as we say, we have a little program line up, huh? I want you to listen attentively to where we have to deal with. Okay, here we go. I tell you, say, may I listen to the audio and I say, but we come a long way though if you advertise ganja on radio. Well, I tell you, because remember when the Broadcasting Commission sent out them, when them call them whatsoever them sent out, and I tell you, say, you can't play certain tune on radio, you know, including tune that talk about ganja. We come a long way, man. You know, man, about ganja festival. May I tell you, it's sweet me, see, man. It's sweet me. It really sweet me, boy. May I tell you. Anyway, you know, so when I was a youth, I got to school. A whole heap of books we used to have in our possession, and you know, so a whole heap of them did ban. But one of them were really did a whole heap of as youth was a book named The Wretched of the Earth. Franz Fanon book, The Wretched of the Earth, was really a key book in what we call developing the political mind. And this is a commemorate, and I never even know, 55 years since him dead. That means when I did get in tune with the book, him did dead already. Yeah, because I'm my teenager, may I read them book there, you know them way there. So, yeah, serious thing. Him did dead already, man. When I got technical, him dead already. Anyway, you know them having this screening of a film named Concerning Violence. It is based on Fanon's 1961. Okay, the book was from 1961. Yeah, serious thing. The Wretched of the Earth. And this is happening at the Neville Lecture Theatre, December the 9th, which is this Friday. We want to talk to Ajamo. Ajamo, you there on the line?
Yeah, man. I'm there.
Yes, sir. Good night, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You hear me?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, I'm hearing you. How are you doing?
All right, yes. The lecturer, you're a lecturer in the Department of Caribbean Studies.
Yeah, man, I'm a lecturer in the Department of Caribbean Studies, and I'm involved in organizing this event. Mm-hmm. And I really love how you really frame the event and identify the radical nature of the Wretched of the Earth, because even today it's still influencing people, it's influencing a lot of people all over the world. Even Irish nationalists, the Black Panther Party, the Tamil Liberation Movement. Essentially people looking for emancipation.
When was from? Guadeloupe. Where Guadeloupe come from? Which country?
Martinique.
Martinique.
He was born on July the 20th. Yeah. In Martinique.
Yes.
In Martinique, and he leave and go to France.
Yes.
After leave the war in 1945 and go and study medicine and specialize in psychiatry. And, while I'm doing studies, well, actually, before that, him had some idea in his head when he go join the Free French Forces, because Germany had occupied France. And Nazi Germany occupied France. So him believed himself as a Frenchman, I go defend the motherland. But when he go to Europe and he see the racism of the French and the racism of other people, even Italians, and he realized that wait, he was African.
It was African,
so it really, so he write a letter to his mother, and father, and I tell him, say, boy, if the mirror say, I'm dead fighting the enemy, them shouldn't feel no honor because they have seen the enemy, and them know say, and them very racist.
I think one of the things them where a lot of ones in a them time that was confronted with is them political ideology as it relates to classism and racism, where a socialist viewpoint never really gave credence to racist philosophy. It's more of a class philosophy. Even in Jamaica,
the class thing.
Yeah, the communists them in a Jamaica, like Trevor Monroe and them man there, them more was class indoctrinated because them follow a kind of communist philosophy until long after we hear Trevor Monroe say one of the things them that did confront them as radicals is that them never actually deal with the racism that exists. And I think Frantz Fanon disillusioned going to Europe and realize but this thing him not French, him African, so yes, it's very important.
But you see, the thing, when Trevor talk about later on, he realized that in terms of the centrality of race, including class, gender, and other things, he really, he had Rodney from long time and talk about race, so it's not like a late discovery. It's just that they never believe in the importance of white supremacy and culture.
No, them not see that way. Because Marcus Garvey was an escapist to them.
True.
Marcus Garvey was an escapist to them, and Marcus Garvey totally licked down communism flat.
But at the same time, Marcus Garvey was an ardent supporter of capitalism.
Yeah, that me say, him licked down communism. That's why a whole heap of one did see him as a, what you call a reactionary. If you're a Trotskyite or a Leninite or a Marxist, you wouldn't see Marcus Garvey as something to contend with, until recently, really.
Right.
Yeah.
And because of the struggle that we waged, that we center race in our struggle for emancipation.
Yeah.
But at the same time, somehow we center race and class, and the sisters them who are revolutionary and the race question and class question also bring gender into it.
Yes,
because we have to bring the totality of ourselves to the struggle. We can't say, deal with the race issue today and then tomorrow we deal with that, because even though the Algerian struggle for liberation against French colonialism, then bringing the sister them into the struggle, another armed struggle against the French colonialism. But once sister them, when them win the struggle, gender never become a big thing anymore. They must keep the woman them out of the circle on the sideline. So this is piece of the struggle. No guy can't tell you to leave that oppression to the side. Yeah. And when we deal with this other one that common to most of it, then we will deal.
But our next book that was very influential to for that level is Black Skin, White Mask.
Yes,
I don't know
that was another important. And the thing about that, that was a dissertation when submitted, as part of medical studies, and then rejected.
Fanon.
Yeah, man, and then published in 52 in France. So he write another thesis like within a week. He put another thesis together, but that them rejected as sufficient.
You mean the Black Skin, White Mask?
Black Skin, White Mask.
Yeah.
It was a dissertation, but it was rejected.
Okay, yeah, it was a big selling book. It was a big book seller. It was a big selling book, though.
Yeah, man, and them still use it today, Them still use it. You see the problem now with Fanon, and we have to rescue Fanon. Right now, him really in prison at the university when, the 60s and 70s, and at the jungle and the streets are revolutionary spaces that him and him work occupy. But no people are sitting at Yale, them sitting at University of Toronto, them sitting at University of West Indies, and them just read about Fanon. But they divorce from political struggle.
Of course.
And see how people write only papers upon
thesis.
Do theoretical construction and interpretation, but guess what? They have nothing to do with activism, nothing to do with change.
No practical move. No practical move as it relates to wretched of the earth,
So they really have kind of de-radicalized Fanon, because everything now is abstraction. So you can write about Fanon, and when you read it, you say, boy, I want to really understand what they say.
Yeah. And when I youth I go to school, 15, 16 years old and I read them book, there's like, it take all away that we gone out, they go do active things. You know, I mean, a serious thing, active. We just go technical and I read them book, them, man. It make we active, man.
Yeah. Yeah, for you to know, it was, I think named Dan Watts, he was the editor for Liberator magazine. And I must say, you know, when during the 67 uprising in the United States, them check say, you know, them youth up on the road and maybe a wine on thing, but them quoting saying, boy, them youth, you know, they all read.
Yes,
they read a lot. Not
course.
One of them hasn't read the Bible for none. And that's what I call the Richard of the Earth, you know, the Bible.
Yeah, man. It was like a Bible, man. It was like a Bible.
Yeah, man. So for me, and many other comrades, you know, they want to introduce Fanon to a younger generation because this semester in my class, I asked you them, whenever you wrote Fanon, write the name on the board. There was only one person. So I say, how can we, in the Caribbean, where teach culture, where
with a Caribbean scholar, who was very, you know, like Franz Fanon, Silla, James, Padmore, all of them, man, they should be known by youth now who has studied political science as it relates to the Caribbean. Yeah.
And even the sister named Claudia Jones now, what if people don't know about her?
Claudia Jones,
a revolutionary from America.
Yeah, man.
Because that's the work that she had done.
Yeah,
and when she got Britain, the white communists and the British Communist Party, they know what to do with that because she even advanced and most of them because she was a leader in the Communist Party inside America. I work on theoretical issues. Even some people say, boy, that's what the black feminists come up with the idea of race, class, and gender analysis. But she are the pioneer.
All right,
that approach to deal with the oppression of women, that working class woman, who African, and the woman them experience oppression now when it's a triple oppression them are dealing with. You know?
Yeah, this event we are going concerning violence. Tell me exactly. It said you said based upon Fanon Richard of the Earth. What aspect?
Yes, it's based on Fanon Richard of the Earth.
How them break it down in the film? How them break it down?
Okay, what I'm doing, you know, they might have Lauren Hill as the narrator, where she the one to read excerpts from the book from the Richard of the Earth. So they must show certain different struggles. We have Guinea-Bissau with Amilcar Cabral. So they have Amilcar Cabral talking. So it's like they have 9 scenes. 9 different scenes. So they have Mozambique, they have Angola, different spaces, Algeria, and they're reading part of the chapter concerning violence and depicting different scenes. So they may even show up Rhodesia or Zimbabwe, and have people, you know, them have white people talk about how them to freedom and how them to society, and the sum total of everything is just to show the absurdity of colonialism, but also the necessity of violence in some cases to fight oppression. So it's a very interesting way to introduce people to Fanon.
Okay. All right. So we'll tell the people them that it's happening this Friday. What time?
Sorry.
What time?
Never caused my lose my voice.
Yeah. No, I'll ask you what time.
It starts at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay, all right. 6 p.m. at the Neville Hall Lecture Theatre. That is N1. I can't tell them say N1. And it is a film about, based upon a Franz Fanon book, The Wretched of the Earth, concerning violence. Okay.
And an important part of it, you know, is to show that violence is something that exists in a neo-colonial society, because, you know, the thing for Fanon is that colonialism is a very violent system at a psychological level, at a physical level, that the army and the police are used to maintain the oppressive order. And the same thing in Jamaica. So I want to point out them things, you know.
Yeah, all right. All right, you have to go, we're going to drink water, Bridget. All right, we'll give thanks. I don't want you to choke out by yourself. I don't want you to choke out.
Take care now.
Yeah, man. We just want to remind the people them that this is part of the Institute of Gender and Development Studies, this Institute of Caribbean Studies, the Pan-African Liberation Movement, and UN Women. This is this Friday.
it's very important for people, if they don't get a chance to come, to read up on Fanon, go online and get more information about him, because he's relevant.
Very relevant. Give thanks,
very relevant, you know.
Give thanks.
Come on, take care.
Time you know hear a Jamaican music with so much instrumentations in it. The youth them left the instrument them, may I tell you? Why you love Raging Fire nominated in a Grammy. And we want to say out of the five reggae artists them we get nominated, 3 of them is not Jamaican. Yes? It's only 2 Jamaican album in a denomination. 2 of them. 2 Jamaican in a denomination. So we can see what happen. We can see what is happening. You have reggae Grammy award and hardly any Jamaican in it. That's so funny, really. This weekend the people them will get to see this youth here. This youth here, when them just come out, may I tell you, man, him sound like Burning Spear. We don't know him voice change up to no hour, but Dawe Congo. Heading for Negril this weekend, yeah, may I tell you. This is the Cutting Edge on RFM. You know, we don't talk about all the Grammy have 5 people in it and it's 2 Jamaican act tonight. Sly and Robbie, I think. Sly and Robbie in there again. And Fire, Raging Fire. One of them who was the first I actually see him. I actually heard the music on the boat the other day, J-Bang, from Hawaii. Seems as if he's a very popular reggae artist out of Hawaii, because, may I tell you, enough Hawaiian they there support him. Believe you me. Anyway, him in it, and ironically, one of the Jamaican nomination, him also in it too. But we know say a whole heap of man are going to reach now, because it's whole heap of, I know it's whole heap of albums usually go up to say who going to come out at the top 5. And I know a whole heap of man down here, so they set up them album. And it's not there. Well, I don't know where I'm going. I think, by the way, I think Ziggy in there. Ziggy night. Eh? Ziggy Marley night, don't it? So wait there. What I say a while ago? Ziggy Marley, Raging Fire. Alright, Ziggy Marley, Raging Fire, Soldier. Them have Ziggy Marley, Raging Fire, Soldier. You have Sly Robin night. Oh, is a weight name there? It's a compilation that. So I just say a 2 foreign night. 2 foreign band night. Yeah, refresh my brains. Come in and look on the paper here, so I talk from out of my head. All right, you have Soldier, which is a big act right now, especially on the California side. There, them sell enough. Well, not enough really, but compared to where I sell now, is enough. Compared to where I sell now, is really enough music that. Now, it's weird. Nowadays, you sell all 10,000 CD, you sell enough CD. You think you have an idea, we could have sell 10,000 CD and go back to the record company about more of them lights the next album. It's really funny. That man has sell 10,000 CD I know, and it sounds like enough CD. All right. I get it. I get where I'm going here, so now. So we're Raging Fire there. Me not say Raging Fire night.
Raging Fire.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I see who there night now. But this not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6, yeah.
Then all them have 6 now and 5 them usually have. Them usually have over 5, you know. Them put 6 in there now. Okay, at the first me see that. Sly and Robbie present. And they have J-Bang, who the virgin is from Hawaii. Ziggy Marley, Raging Fire, Revolution, and Soldier. You know, Revolution and Soldier is and the J-Bang is where the people them are go for now, especially in the California area. Yeah, so you have 3 foreigner and 3 local. We don't know if you call Ziggy Marley local again, you know, call Ziggy Marley don't live in Jamaica again at all. But me could say that 3 foreigner, 3 local. We don't know it was pan out, you know. You know, say anytime you say Marley name in a Grammy, you know. It's like I give him. But we don't know. We don't know yet because this year they might choose to give one of them man there, especially like Revolution and Soldier, who will make some real serious headway across America. It's ironical, you know, that America seems to be the world when it comes on to judging people musically. People feel say if them album not go up on Billboard reggae chart, it not really say nothing. And you have a bigger market there in Africa, you know. You have a market in Africa there where if your tune sell all $1 million in a Nigeria, it not reach nowhere now. Because you have 170 million people there, so. So you can imagine you sell $1 million out of that come like you're in a Jamaica and sell 5,000 records. And that now sell again in a Jamaica. But when I realize is that when we look on them sales thing and them say you sell 10,000, I like enough record that, enough CD that. When me out there I tour to rat and me sell, if you ever sell 10,000, me vex. Yeah, because me I said that no nothing, because a record company now go sign you again if you go sell 10,000. You have to lick 100,000 record and all them CD and all them way there. Nowadays, 10,000 man gone way up there. You know, it's amazing. Man just download everything and so now, so that you have to just go make money off of touring. If you're not tour your salt, you understand? If you're not tour your salt, but and Soldier and Revolution are tour enough. Yeah, them tour enough, especially on the west coast of Africa there. Them are tour enough. So I could show that I go pan out, you know, as we are saying, 6 nomination out of maybe 50 odd nomination. A man whisper to me the other night, and I call him name, a man whisper to me the other night and say, boy, you want to see a 2 album, me get me gone up in the Grammy, you know. That time I don't know them things they go already, you know. I don't know them things they go. That a whole heap of album go, but them choose 5 at the end. Can you remember like 3 of my album them go up already, you know. Yeah, man, me have 3 albums me go up for get. Because the record company them usually send your album there. Okay. You know, so when you have a record company, them usually submit your album them. The man say 2 albums me have up there, you know. And me I say, all right, Bridget. I mean, I say don't tell me because I know them thing to go. I know them thing to go. So when him said to me, Sunday night to the hour, Wednesday night, see there? 6 of them, Raging Fire. We feel good for Raging Fire though. Considering says a young band and them really do something different. Them really do something different. That means that somebody will listen to them music out there. The ironical thing about Sly and Robbie now, you know, is that Sly and Robbie is always in there. Sly and Robbie is some Grammy kids, you know. And them win the first Grammy, reggae Grammy, you know, with Black Euro. But them is always in there. Surprisingly, I don't see Scratch. Because Scratch will have a new album this year, you know. I don't see it. I don't see it in there, but Scratch no feel no way when Scratch have him Grammy, put it on and eat in bed. Because that does something. Every man put them Grammy on and stand. Scratch or chew Grammy and eat the bed. I don't remember saying that and eat there. You understand? But why you love Scratch? Lee Scratch Perry, man, me I tell you. Lee Scratch Perry still a lick down the thing, you know. still a book on tour and shows and all over the place. We give thanks for that. Considering him they did it from a longer time. We want to play this song here. Before we go into the matter we at hand here, we want to play this song here. A man want to do an interview with me. I call him name. He say, Muta, I want to ask you about this thing where this some woman calculate something. I want to listen to me carefully, you know, because these people have these things all the while. I don't know how much people hear about it, but if you did hear about it, you can call me after I done play what I play. But some woman calculate something. I don't know what she use and calculate it and decide that the world are going to end the 31st of December. I not about 31st of December, 300,000, you know. I not about 31st of December this year. You understand? That means that we're not going to have no 2017. So I don't know young people, no salt. We better repent. And the brethren ask me, you know, when we think about it, and that me almost want to get vexed with him, you know. But me I say, all right, Muta, cool yourself. Believe you me, relax. Where I come from now? He want me give him my understanding about it. And me I say, brethren, what kind of understanding there? You know, she says some little fanatic, fundamentalist Christian people, well, I mean, them get so frustrated that Jesus not come back yet, that they have to try and make him come back. By telling you so them calculate the thing. Look here, man, let me tell you something. By the way, an earthquake licked Trinidad, you know, yesterday. An earthquake licked Trinidad, but let me tell you something, man. You see, if the world are going to end the 31st, none of it now going to know. May I tell you? Because it obviously some catastrophe are going to happen. And you have a virgin named Curtis Mayfield, you know. Curtis Mayfield sing a tune, say if there's a hell, the whole of it go and go there. If the world are going to end, more than likely is a destruction, the whole of it going to be destroyed. Fair interpretation is that, well, upon the 31st, Jesus Christ going to come. I mean, this is serious thing me attack now, you know. This is like, Jesus Christ is going to come back and the rapture going to take place now. So, those who is with Jesus Christ going to go up, and people like me are going to just burn up. And then now, Jesus Christ will come now, and then they're going to just upon the earth for 1,000 years. That is really, and this brethren now want to put it in the paper because it's a big story now, you know. It's a big story. I mean, maybe tomorrow morning you wake up now and hear the story, but we may never know about that story there. Say the world are going to end the 30th. If me know the world are going to end 31st, moon come and work. No, man, moon come and work, Rasta. Maybe like when Prince had sing 1999, when everybody defeats the earth are going to end 2000. 1914, Jehovah's Witness them tell you this and tell you that. They're the last one with the big one where the brother come. They put all the TV, them and I tell you, say exactly, say the world are going to end. Why people want the world end? It's like them not have no joy in themselves. I mean, life is beautiful, man. You don't really want this end, but you don't have no control over it. Jesus Christ is going to come for him world. So, how much people hear that story they do? Because it's a gleaner call me, you know, it's people who work with a gleaner call me, you know, if they ask me about this thing, this new thing, you know, with this supposedly thing what happened on the 31st of December 2016. So all them little tour plan, when we did that plan, now go work out. I did. And my car all mash up. I just had cheap me not for buy no car because I go just fly down up. Well, me not fly up in the sky, I go down in the earth. But really and truly, me not for worry about no car. All them people they have big building and a plan. All Trump get a beat, you know. Trump thinks he's going to be president in January, you know. It's salt. All them voting thing where they are going. All the parish council election, everything get a beat now. The world are going to the 31st. Eh? They cover the pothole them. You know what they said? Why I mean not gonna say I true me talk about it, you know. Me not gonna say it again, you know. Me glad that you observe it, you know. Me not gonna say it again. Say them cover the pothole them on the road where we are talking about. For about 3 weeks now, me are talking about the whole them, you know. From down at the square come up there. So I notice, you know, when I come up with 2 pack a while ago, say me not see my baba and weave. I say, ratted. The man them look like the man listen to the program sneakingly. It look like the man listen. I see me the one that shot with have been shot with the road, you know. The Thursday me I talk about it, you know, and by Saturday me drive down there, me not see the whole, you know. And I say, all right, me go and talk. Yeah, me go and talk. Believe you me, because now me not see no Bob and Weaver go on the road from just so go down there so. But with that purpose of that for? With the purpose of that for, the world are going the 31st. It not really matter again. All them show we have plan and all them things there. And Rastata what them want go Ethiopia. But I see a Jamaica now the world are going to end. You can't go Ethiopia. The world them say. That means not go escape the judgment in this time. What a thing. So I don't know this. I should have asked him. I could call him and ask him the name of the person who. And him sounds serious, you know, like him all want to believe it, you know. The way he asks me, you know, it's like, true me not believe it, you know, like him want to get vexed with me, true me not believe it. I mean, I say, but Bridget, why you want to believe that the world are going to end the 31st? I mean, really. You know what things we have to do in life when we don't accomplish it in life? Enough things, you know. I'm not ready for go yet. But if me I go, if me I go, me can't help it. So let it be. I saw it go. Anyway, that is just something I really want to say, because then want to have New Year's Eve now. Let me say Jesus Christ is going to really come on New Year's for disturb our people party. No, Rasta. A terrible thing, that one. You'll come on the 31st for disturb our people party. After people have spent so much money for go advertise them show and this and that. You're going to just match up the party. Oh gosh, man. Anyway, we are going to say, but an earthquake just licked Trinidad. An earthquake just licked Trinidad. I don't know. What do you want to saw? What do you want to saw? The place get hot and get cold and get hot again, and rain fall too much. Rain fall too much, Rasta. Anyway, we tell us that we have something to play. We're going to come forward to it. Click it.
Or 393-2019. I'm a classic man. Open Mondays to Thursdays, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Like us on Facebook, TK Rafine. And on Instagram, Trish1, TK Rafine. TK Rafine, get the celebrity look.
Come celebrate with us at the Jewel Duns River Beach Resort and Spa as we say goodbye to the old year and ring in the new. Party in fine style with a sumptuous food, tropical libation, sizzling songs, and much more. The era of the 1920s Great Gatsby Gold and White Theme Gala kicks off with the cocktails at 7:30 p.m. and goes up until 2 a.m. For evening party passes, call 972-740.
This is the Cottonage on RFM, you know.
Lord God, Shadina and Cheva present Beauty Pageant and stage show called Miss Beauty with a Purpose on the 10th of December, Porous Community Centre, Manchester, featuring Jamaica and me, Grandpa. Lot more, Lord God.
It's that time again when G's Pharmacy presents Customer Appreciation Month. Get 12% discount on all prescription, free medical checks, giveaways, and more health information for more experienced pharmacists with over 40 years of experience. This December, all month long at G's Pharmacy, 8 Lower Parade Street, telephone 617-0919. As we always say, people are a priority.
Christmas sale, 10 to 50% off, plus non-stop clearance throughout December. Bargains galore at Jeanstown Store. Shop number 14 Simmons Plaza, 73 Main Street, Ocho Rios. It's painting season at Rapid True Value. Shop, Easy Care and Weatherall 10-day pay sale December 2 to 11. 1,300 off per gallon tin. 6,500 off per 5-gallon bucket. 10 days only. Conditions apply. Rapid True Value. Everything you need to build, renovate, decorate.
Shabada celebrates 10 years in theater with a wild new comedy, Michael Denton's Chickstar. Opening Friday, December 16th at Crown Playhouse, 53 Malines Road, next door Olympia Crown Hotel, Kingston. Playing Friday to Sunday, 8 p.m. nightly. The first 10 persons each show night pay half price.
Life is just for living. Life is just for living. Life is just for living.
I feel like a star.
Feel like a star.
Feeling on the fun.
Rapping to my pals. And we are all a reasoning about the guns.
I got my bottle in my hand. Just chilling, living cause I can.
Must be 18 years and older. Enjoy Red Stripe responsibly.
Hey, it's the Rasta Roots Festival, December 9 to 11. Long Bay Beach Bar Grill. 3 days of festival. Join me, DJ Chris, on the Outside Broadcast crew as we bring you a live coverage of the event on the Retro Skanking Show from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. this Friday, December 9. That's the Rasta Roots Festival. Coverage of the event. That's this Friday, December 9. December 9, Long Bay Beach Park, Negril.
World I hear about you, digital crazy.
Hey, brother man, what up? Give us some of that, no?
Thursday afternoon, from 12:15 to 1:15 on Easy Skanking. We heights up heart, mind, and soul to soul.
Then testosterone element. Wicked nation. Lightning.
This Thursday, Quartz will be unwrapping your dreams and bringing you the excitement at Mandela Park with the Unwrapped Road Show. Free iron blood pressure checks. Same-day loans up to $330,000. Free dream gifts worth $50,000. DJs, you could win up to $30,000 and come out to enjoy live performances from IT and Fancy Cat, Kevin Downswell, and iOctane. So the Irie Posse will be there live from 2 p.m. with me, Amber, and DJ Smurf. So join us there or on air. All this courtesy of Quartz, bringing value home. This Thursday, Mandela Park Halfway Tree, the Quartz Unwrapped Road Show. This one is on fleek.
Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. We're there with you. You know, before we get into what we did say a while ago, we want to talk to the sister here, you know, we could talk to her. Yeah, good afternoon, good night.
Good night, yes. I am going to be traveling to your country for the Rasta Roots Fest.
That's what I was told. No, this is Muta, you know. Hi, this is Mutabaruka you're talking to. Hello?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, you are on the ear. It's not the operator you're talking to, it's Muta.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'll see you explain, try to explain. All right. Okay. You are the sister with the
country. We're so excited.
You are the sister with the essential oils?
We are. We use essential oils. Those are the lifeblood of the plant. God created those oils to work in harmony with our bodies, and it's a great way to take care of your wellness naturally.
All right, so what you do? You use plants, and what you do? Extract the plants and make the oils?
Absolutely. Oils are extracted from the leaves, the flowers, the shrubs, the bark, different parts of the plants, and they have amazing physiological and psychological benefits. They've been used since the beginning of time. Yes. It was the first medicine in the world. It's mentioned several times in the Bible. In another scripture, King Solomon in cedarwood is an important oil. All of the buildings were made of cedar.
So you actually plant the herbs them and make the oil, or you go around and get
No, we don't. we use the Young Living essential oils. Those are pure oils, and you can visit the farms and watch the process from the time the seed goes into the ground until the oil goes into the bottle. So they're guaranteed to be pure.
Okay. And you will bring a lot of them to the Herbs Festival?
Absolutely. We have a booth at the Rasta Roots Festival, and we'll be there to allow people to smell them and just experience and learn a lot about how you can use them in your everyday life to take care of your own wellness.
All right, when you say use them in your everyday life to take care of your wellness, you're talking about sickness, or you're talking about your spirit?
I have to be very careful with what I say because we have the FDA in the United States, and so there's...
No, but you're talking to me in Jamaica, you know.
Absolutely, yes. We use oils topically, internally, and aromatically.
Yeah.
So it does help with your spiritual awareness, but it can also help with everyday ailments to help support your body to do what it does naturally, which is to take care of you.
All right,
so
which oils would you say help people spiritually? Which one of these oils
there? So many. Frankincense. We're coming up on the Christmas season, and in the Bible, many people know the story of baby Jesus with frankincense, myrrh, and gold. Frankincense is an oil that's used to help increase spiritual awareness.
Okay.
Myrrh helps promote bonding and emotional positivity and comfort. So there are just so many different uses. It activates the limbic portion of your brain where your emotions are stored and your memories are stored, and help promote just peace and relaxation, which controls a lot of the systems in the body.
And you will be selling these oils at the festival?
We will be selling them. We will be helping people get starter kits. Well, they will have an aromatic diffuser to diffuse the oil in the air, and we will be instructing people on how they can use them every day to replace things that they would use that have synthetics or chemical preparations. They would use the natural essential oils in place.
Okay, well, I'll be down there, so I'll be looking for you. Alicia Ahalt. That's how you pronounce your name, Ahalt?
Alicia Ahalt, yes, sir. And I cannot wait to meet you. I've enjoyed your program.
Oh, you've been listening to them?
I can't wait to meet you.
Oh, that's
yes,
interesting.
sir.
Okay. Yep. All right, give thanks. All right, so I will definitely look out for you. Because oils is something that really, I love oils dearly. And, you know,
I can't wait for you to experience what we have. And I can't wait to just kind of give you some instruction and guide you to some resources that will really help you incorporate them into your life. It's life-changing.
Okay. Give thanks, Mama. Give thanks. Where you calling from, by the way? Florida?
I'm calling from Pensacola, Florida.
Florida. Okay. All right. I'll see you this weekend then.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, man. Give thanks. Yes, sister who deals in essential oils spiritually, mentally, and physically. It's always good to hear that. I know a whole heap of people don't have ball about them knowing no oil and oil, too much oil up and all them something there. Oil is good thing. Don't make them trick you and make you get warped. Africans use enough oils, essential oils. We use oils. Oil don't have to deal with necessarily obia, but we associate things where it's not certain mentality and get a negative connotation when it is not. You know, if you notice all the things then where we start to go against is things where we as African people deal with, you know. Yes, and so when you hear a man talk about oil and too much oil this and oil that and obia and all them something there, it's because them know say we used to use these things for our spiritual guidance and manifestation, just like all this talk about frankincense and myrrh. If you ever go to a certain place and burn frankincense and myrrh, people are run you. Certain people don't like smell it because it linked to a certain kind of thinking. So when them smell the frankincense and the myrrh, it give them it's not that it do them not, you know, it's just that them have a certain thing. It's just like a man that smell ganja beside him. A Rasta smoke ganja beside him and he starts saying, oh, it stink. You understand? And then a man that smoke cigarette beside him and him not smell it. Him not feel no way about it. Well, it's the same thing with the herbs and the, where people call African people witch doctor. You can't be a witch and a doctor at the same time. It's madness. But we who deal with the healing and the authentic African traditional things, whether it's food, clothes, or shelter, or just thinking, we are looked down on. So we just want you to know that oils is not a bad thing, because even coconut oil is a good thing. We didn't use coconut oil until them started to tell us say coconut this and coconut that. And now we see big movie star Angelique Jolie and all these people is recommending coconut oil. Can you believe that? We who used to use coconut oil enough hardly use it. Go get the old dirty soy oil from foreign and all them and bring come to Jamaica when we have coconut down here so. And now we see them and make a big thing out of it now. But coconut oil is good for this, and you must rub it in your ear and rub it on your skin and all these things, and we did have it all the while. But them demonize it, power. Most of the things that we use, them demonize it. People don't like smell frankincense around if you put on certain oil by your people who are around there. And say, Lord, you're gone now, you rub up with oil and demonize it. Anyway, we're not going to make them tell we how to do things. We are do it how we want to do it. So, this time of the year is what them call the Yuletide season. And every year we have to remind the people them, do you know what you are celebrating when you are celebrating this Yuletide season? Where does this thing come from? You know, people always say majority. It's like if the majority do something, you have a notion of say the majority always right. It's like because it is in the majority, it must right. And people couldn't push a lie out there so much that a whole heap of people believe it so much. But I want to tell you, most of the Western world is based upon a big lies. It's a series of lies the Western world have we live out as our reality. So when a man give you a certain thinking and make you actually believe, say, he's your reality, you know, same grab you. That's why the man said powerful people will never educate powerless people in what it means to take away the power from them. Because the aim of powerful people is to stay powerful by any means necessary. And what them use is different symbols and different thinking for grab way. And then when it grab way now, we start to let it out like there's our thinking. And a whole heap of the things right now where you see people would have died for in the Western world. Yeah. Certain philosophy, certain belief where people that die for. And it don't have nothing in reality, in history. It don't have no historical reference. And if it have a historical reference, it don't have nothing to do with for them culture, for them people, for them understanding of life. But because one person is more, or a group of people is more powerful than the next one, them can use that to manipulate not only your economical, social, and political order, but your spiritual order too. So our spiritual connection with our ancestors, because if you talk about ancestors, in this part of the world, as a Christian, if you talk about ancestors, people feel say you're gone crazy. Yes, you're not supposed to talk about ancestors. Yes, still them are deal with ancestors. Because them have Mary, them have Noah, them have Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Obadiah, all that higher. And that is for them ancestors, you know. But if you say ancestors, when them want to say saint, you must say Saint Mary, Saint John, Saint Paul, Saint Matthew. You know, if you say our ancestors, it get crazy upon them. So, what them do is manipulate we mind. And whenever we buck up our real self, we shun it. We don't really want to know nothing about that. We look upon that as terrible, evil, not look good. You know, it's like, oh, black people not proud of them ear. A simple thing like your ear. Them have your belief say your ear is bad ear. No ear no bad. Whether it's Chinese ear, Indian ear, African ear, none of them no bad. But we grow up for belief so we have bad ear. We are the only people who have bad ear, you know. According to how the thing going on. And so we do everything possible to make we ear don't look like how nature decide that it should look. Everything. We do all manner of things to it so as not to make it look natural, like how nature command it to look. And so is our thinking. Our thinking has been manipulated to the point where when we start to push out certain argument, we actually believe, say, it has come from our experience and certain logical understanding of things. And if you dig deep down to it, you realize, but it don't have nothing to do with your reality. So why we have said that? We have said this because this is the time now when one of the biggest lie that has been told has manipulated most of the Western world. And that lie is that a man named Jesus Christ was born on the 25th of December. All of them know says lie, them I tell. All. But you see the normal person now continue in the thinking. And when them find them buck up on a wall, or them start to tell you, well, you know, at least it allows you to gather with your family and give gifts and all these things. Like other people never have nothing to do these things. And them lick it out with some to the point now that we feel say we have to lean upon them. And we have the things them in front of us where we could actually believe say are our things. And we don't know how the things them come about. Christian believe in that things where them are fight against. But because it getting at them so much now, them not fight against it again. Them start to find another justification for the thing. So when you tell them, say, but Christian a pagan thing. Because a Christian me hear this thing about pagan, you know. Christian say paganism, heathenism. Yet still, most of the doctrine that them have is based upon the same paganism and heathenism, where them glorify into but not want to accept that them has now adopted something that is antichrist according to Christianity. Most of the things them that Christians accept right now, most of the things where them accept right now, including this time of the year, is antichrist. It don't have nothing to do with a man who lived 2,000 years ago, according to Christian doctrine. But it get perpetuated to the point where you keep repeating a lie. It is no longer a lie to the person who put it in them consciousness and make it seep in them consciousness to the point now where them can't tell the difference between what is true and what is lie. So everything now become true. And this time of the year is one of them things where it's a big lie, but because it keep reverberating and keep coming back, there is no, well, some people, I'm not going to say everybody, because you have people, you have Christian denomination when they celebrate it. You have a whole heap of Christian denomination when they celebrate it, because them know. And if you is a Christian and you claim Christmas as part of Christianity, something is intrinsically wrong with your perception of what Christianity is all about. And me not a Christian, but me know that. And them know who gave you that thinking. That Christmas, Easter, Christmas tree, Santa Claus, have nothing to do with no man who lived 2,000 years ago. Nothing at all. This was conjured up by big businessmen and people who was actually fighting against Christianity. It's people who fight against Christianity give you Christmas. Maybe you know why I accept it from me, because me a Rasta, me say these things. But if you dig deep into the history, and we're going to play a documentary about Christmas and a whole heap of different things that involve with Christmas, to show you how weird and ridiculous it is for we really accept this thing as a Christian way and not realizing, say, you were brainwashed into believing this thing. And because most of the world around you celebrate this thing, you cannot come out of that box and decide, say, no, because you will be looked upon like an idiot. Christmas will have nothing to do with Christ. Nothing. Historically or otherwise, it have nothing to do with Christ. No man on earth can tell you, say, when this man named Jesus Christ is born. Not one person know when this man. Them can't tell you when Caesar did born. Were born before him. Them can't tell you when Cleopatra did born. Them can't tell you when the Roman this did happen. No man can tell you when a man named Jesus Christ is born for earth. It's pure speculation. How is that possible? Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. We're there with you. You know, before we get into what we did say a while ago, we want to talk to the sister here. You know, we could talk to her. Yeah, good afternoon, good night.
Good night, yes. I am going to be traveling to your country for the Rasta Roots Fest.
That's what I was told. No, this is Muta, you know. Hi, this is Mutabaruka you're talking to. Hello?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, you are on the air. It's not the operator you're talking to, it's Muta.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I see you explain, trying to explain. All right. Okay. You are the sister with the
country. We're so excited.
You are the sister with the essential oils?
We are. We use essential oils. Those are the lifeblood of the plant. God created those oils to work in harmony with our bodies, and it's a great way to take care of your wellness naturally.
All right. So what you do? You use plants, and what you do? Extract the plants and make the oils.
Absolutely. Oils are extracted from the leaves, the flowers, the shrubs, the bark, different parts of the plants, and they have amazing physiological and psychological benefits. They've been used since the beginning of time. Yes. It was the first medicine in the world. It's mentioned several times in the Bible. In another scripture, King Solomon in cedarwood is an important oil. All of the buildings were made of cedar.
So you actually plant the herbs them and make the oil, or you go around and get
No, we don't. We use the Young Living essential oils. Those are pure oils, and you can visit the farms and watch the process from the time the seed goes into the ground until the oil goes into the bottle. So they're guaranteed to be pure.
Okay. And you will bring a lot of them to the Herbs Festival?
Absolutely. We have a booth at the Rasta Roots Festival, and we'll be there to allow people to smell them and just experience and learn a lot about how you can use them in your everyday life to take care of your own wellness.
All right. When you say use them in your everyday life to take care of your wellness, you're talking about sickness, or you're talking about your spirit?
I have to be very careful with what I say because we have the FDA in the United States, and so there's...
No, but you're talking to me in Jamaica, you know.
Absolutely, yes. We use oils topically, internally, and aromatically.
Yeah.
So it does help with your spiritual awareness, but it can also help with everyday ailments to help support your body to do what it does naturally, which is to take care of you.
All right,
Our bodies were created to take
so
care of
which oils would you say help people spiritually? Which one of these oils
there's
there?
so many. Frankincense. We're coming up on the Christmas season, and in the Bible, many people know the story of baby Jesus with frankincense, myrrh, and gold. Frankincense is an oil that's used to help increase spiritual awareness.
Okay.
Myrrh helps promote bonding and emotional positivity and comfort. So there are just so many different uses. It activates the limbic portion of your brain where your emotions are stored and your memories are stored, and help promote just peace and relaxation, which controls a lot of the systems in the body.
Mm-hmm. And you will be selling these oils at the festival?
We will be selling them. We will be helping people get starter kits. Well, they will have an aromatic diffuser to diffuse the oil in the air, and we will be instructing people on how they can use them every day to replace things that they would use that have synthetics or chemical preparations. They would use the natural essential oils in place.
Okay, well, I'll be down there, so I'll be looking for you. Alicia Ahalt. That's how you pronounce your name, Ahalt?
Alicia Ahalt, yes, sir. And I cannot wait to meet you. I've enjoyed your program.
Oh, you've been listening to them?
I can't wait to meet you.
Oh, that's
yes,
interesting.
sir.
Okay. Yep. All right, give thanks. All right, so I will definitely look out for you. Because oils is something that really, I love oils dearly. And, you know,
I can't wait for you to experience what we have. And I can't wait to just kind of give you some instruction and guide you to some resources that will really help you incorporate them into your life. It's life-changing.
Okay. Give thanks, Mama. Give thanks. Where you calling from, by the way? Florida?
I'm calling from Pensacola, Florida.
Florida. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll see you this weekend then.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, man. Give thanks. Yes, sister who deals in essential oils spiritually, mentally, and physically. It's always good to hear that. I know a whole heap of people don't have ball about them knowing no oil and oil, too much oil up and all them something there. Oil is good thing. Don't make them trick you and make you get warped. Africans use enough oils, essential oils. We use oils. Oil don't have to deal with necessarily obia, but we associate things where it's not certain mentality and get a negative connotation when it is not. You know, if you notice all the things then where we start to go against is things where we as African people deal with, you know. Yes, and so when you hear a man talk about oil and too much oil this and oil that and obia and all them something there, it's because them know say we used to use these things for our spiritual guidance and manifestation, just like all this talk about frankincense and myrrh. If you ever go to a certain place and burn frankincense and myrrh, people are run you. Certain people don't like smell it because it linked to a certain kind of thinking. So when them smell the frankincense and the myrrh, it give them a. It's not that do them not, you know, it's just that them have a certain thing. It's just like a man that smell ganja beside him. A Rasta smoke ganja beside him and he starts saying, oh, it stink. You understand? And then a man that smoke cigarette beside him and him not smell it. Him not feel no way about it. Well, it's the same thing with the herbs and the, you know, where people call African people witch doctor. You can't be a witch and a doctor at the same time. It's madness. But we who deal with the healing and the authentic African traditional things, whether it's food, clothes, or shelter, or just thinking, we are looked down on. So we just want you to know that oils is not a bad thing, because even coconut oil is a good thing. We didn't use coconut oil until them started to tell us say coconut this and coconut that. And now we see big movie star Angelique Jolie and all these people is recommending coconut oil. Can you believe that? We who used to use coconut oil enough, hardly use it. Go get the old dirty soy oil from foreign oil and bring come to Jamaica. When we have coconut down here so. And now we see them and make a big thing out of it now. But coconut oil is good for this, and you must rub it in your ear and rub it on your skin and all these things. And we did have it all the while. But them demonize it, power. Most of the things that we use, them demonize it. People don't like smell frankincense around if you put a certain oil by your people who are around way. And say, Lord, you're gone now, you rub up with oil and demonize it. Anyway, we're not going to make them tell we how to do things. This is the cutting edge. You know, I hear Donald Trump say, you're going to put back Christ in a Christmas. Because the Democrats, them, what them do is make the people themselves to say happy holidays. They have nothing to do with nothing. You understand? I prefer to say happy holidays still because, as I said before, Christ have nothing to do with Christmas. But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Love. For many of us, our fondest childhood memories revolve around the traditions of Christmas. It is a time that many around the world celebrate as the birth of Jesus Christ, the Savior and Messiah of mankind. In recent years, however, the spiritual holiday has become a time of mass marketing and crass commercialism. Incredibly, many businesses derive more than half their yearly income during this period. The process of gift-giving, once thought to have come from the story of the wise men who offered gifts to the newborn Christ, has evolved into the buying frenzy we see today during the month of December. But what about the other Christmas traditions? Have you ever wondered why we decorate the Christmas tree? Why we light the Yule log? Why we hang the mistletoe? And why we teach our children to believe in Santa Claus? In the next hour, you will discover the true origins of Christmas. You may be surprised or even shocked to learn the source of your favorite holiday traditions. Chances are, you'll never look at Christmas the same ever again. Hemisphere during late December, the days are at their shortest lengths and the nights are at their longest. For those of the pagan world, this has always been the greatest time of the year to celebrate and practice the works of darkness. The pagan calendar identifies this period as the winter solstice. It was during the pre-Christian midwinter pagan celebrations of Scandinavia's Norsemen where today's Christmas traditions began. As a means of honoring the pagan sex and fertility god Yule, a 12-day celebration during the month of December was inaugurated. A large single log considered to be a phallic idol was lit on fire and kept burning for 12 days. Animal or human sacrifices were offered in the fire on each of those days. Wild, delirious reveling accompanied the daily sacrifices as drunken participants defiantly strove to make contact with spirits. 1,000 miles away in pre-Christian Rome, celebrants were paying homage to their own gods during the winter solstice. Witchcraft traditions hold that a number of pagan gods were given birth during this period, including Dionysus, Attis, and Baal, chief male god of fertility and licentiousness. Another pagan god from Persia, identified as Mithra, was said to have been born specifically on December 25th. Mithra was the god of the unconquerable sun, the god of the light between heaven and earth, worshipped at that time by an influential Roman cult. His birth symbolized an end to the long nights and a return to the dominance of the sun. During the month-long winter solstice celebration, courts in Rome were closed. Any and all crimes were allowed. Homosexuality, cross-dressing, and uncontrolled debauchery reigned supreme. Rome's order was turned upside down. Even children were allowed to join in the drunken orgies as part of the Juvenalia celebration. By 270 AD, the Roman Emperor Aurelian had made it official, setting aside a 7-day period from December the 17th through the 24th, culminating in an exchange of gifts on December the 25th to celebrate the birth of the sun god. This Roman orgy to end all orgies later became known as Saturnalia, in honor of the god Saturn, the god of excess. Roman soldiers invading Britain brought with them their pagan orgiastic traditions. Upon taking root in England, Saturnalia became known as the Festival of Fools, reigned over by the Lord of Misrule. By the 4th century, the influential government-sanctioned Church of Rome, unable to outlaw the growing number of pagan practices, chose instead to adopt them into their so-called official Christianity. The Church believed this would attract more pagans to their fold.
Up until this time, the birthday of Jesus Christ, the Jewish Messiah, had not been celebrated at all. Ignoring scriptures, however, indicating that the birth probably did not occur during winter, the Church nevertheless confused biblical history and made Jesus' birthday coincide with the pagan god Mithra. The birth date of the sun god had now become the birth date of the Son of God.
It was hoped that the pagan celebrations of Saturnalia would merge into this new legally sanctioned form of Christianity. The Church's practice of changing the dates of Christian events to coincide with pagan festivals continued, and by the 7th century, Pope Gregory I had ordered Augustine of Canterbury to incorporate any and all pagan practices and customs into the expanding Roman Catholic Church. During the Middle Ages, the debased Mardi Gras atmosphere of what was now known as Christ's Mass had reached a fevered pitch. Common practices included open sex in the streets, rioting, murder, and a number of pagan druidic Halloween rituals. This blood-drenched celebration got so out of hand that by 1652, following the execution of King Charles I, Christ's Mass was finally outlawed in England. A religious reform movement began sweeping the country, led by Puritan Oliver Cromwell. The Puritans took the biblical mandate seriously, which commanded that Christianity remain pure and separate from paganism. Despite their noble efforts, the celebration simply went underground, and by 1656, after only 4 short years under the ban, the public's demand for the legalization of Christ's Mass had become insurmountable. The appointment of Charles II to the throne restored England's monarchy, and with it the celebration of Christ's Mass. The Puritans had lost England, but they held high hopes for the new world.
When the first settlers came from England, they were, for the most part, Puritans. They came here for religious freedom. They came here to be free to worship God without a hierarchy and without the corruption of the organized church that they had known before. And when they came with the clear knowledge of the danger of these pagan practices that had become so dear to the hearts of their ancestors.
Following England's lead in 1659, the colonies of America had likewise outlawed Christmas. For 200 years, the clergy in New England battled to keep the riotous celebrations honoring the pagan god Saturn from infiltrating the New World. The Reverend Cotton Mather had warned in a Christmas Day sermon in 1712, "Can you in your conscience think that your Holy Saviour is honoured by hard drinking, lewd revelling, and by a mass fit for none but Bacchus or Saturn?" But the public's taste for sin and revelry persisted. In 1828, gang rioting during the Saturnalia-like Christmas celebrations got so bad that cities such as New York were forced to institute a professional police force for the first time in order to control the savagery.
Christmas was not only not widely celebrated, in many cases, many places, Christmas celebrations were actually outlawed. And this was because of the attitude of many of the churches who regarded it as primarily as a pagan celebration and as a reproach to the Lord.
By the mid-19th century, American churches were the last remaining holdout in the war against the validation of Christmas. However, they too finally succumbed as a result of the efforts of the American Sunday School Society, who began advocating Christmas programs for children as a method of filling the pews. The society argued that children could be taught about the birth of Christ through the reenactment of the Nativity. They also offered candy and treats to the children as a means of enticing families into accepting the holiday, despite its notorious history and blatantly pagan roots. The successful technique of bribing children with candy would later be used on an unsuspecting American populace in the effort to promote the acceptance of the pagan rituals of Halloween. However, it was the work of England's most popular writer, Charles Dickens, whose ghostly 1843 book, A Christmas Carol, cemented the Christmas holiday in the hearts of Americans forever. Dickens' well-loved story made the pagan Christmas feasts, shining trees, glittering shops, and family warmth irresistible to those wanting to experience the holiday. Coming to America in 1867 to promote his work, Charles Dickens packed theaters as he read his story to cheering audiences around the country. A Christmas Carol gripped America and destroyed any final attempt to stop the evolution of Christmas. By 1875, the Puritans had been beaten, and by 1890, all American states had voted to make Christmas a legal holiday. Today's tradition of the Christmas Yule log stems directly from the worship of the pre-Christian Scandinavian fertility god Yule. The burning of this phallic idol is also responsible for the concept of the 12 days of Christmas, which represented the 12 daily sacrifices offered up in the Yule log's flames.
Another good example of the pagan elements of Christmas is the whole concept of Yule and the Yule log. The very term is derived from the Norse god Yule, spelled J-U-L. And every year around Christmas time, a huge log was cut down and fashioned into a fertility symbol and then burned for 12 days. And on each successive day, a new sacrifice to the god Yule was performed in the fire, and a new sacrificial victim was burned to death. Sometimes, but not always, the sacrificial victims were human beings. And the whole notion of the 12 days of Christmas also comes to us from this Norse pagan tradition.
In an attempt to blur the origins of this horrific ritual, the Church of Rome placed the first day of the Mass of Christ on December 25th and the 12th day on January the 6th. Despite no scriptural references for January the 6th, it was selected as the day the wise men supposedly arrived to offer gifts to the newborn Christ. This day, then, has become known as Epiphany.
This is the Cutting Edge on RFM. We're there with you. I go through the PSAs. We hope you take a stock and listen. It's all about clarity, and it's all about history and how certain things was brought to us without any explanation, and we just gulp it down.
Then has become known as Epiphany.
During the Dark Ages, the European custom of putting an oil-lighted wick lamp in the windows during the 12 days of Christmas signified to neighbors that the occupants were participating in the pagan worship of the phallic idol Yule. In today's commercialism, this is where we get the tradition of decorating our houses with Christmas lights. The Yule log custom was originally brought over to America by Scandinavian immigrants during the 1600s. And despite attempts to ban the tradition, it has stayed with us to this very day. Today, when we wish someone Yuletide greetings, we are in a sense invoking the power of the fertility god Yule upon
in English.
Likewise, evergreen trees have always represented sex and fertility in pagan cultures. During the winter solstice, trees would be chopped down, brought inside, set up, and decorated as idols for worship.
The Christmas tree was regarded as a sacred tree. The pagans of Northern Europe typically worshipped trees. They regarded trees and groves as sacred. So the bringing of the tree into the house would be a way of bringing this supernatural source of blessing into your home. That was the whole idea, that there were spirits who resided in the trees.
In the Middle Ages, the tradition of the winter solstice Christmas tree primarily took root in Germany. During his reign, King George I, himself of German extraction, brought the custom to Victorian England. German immigrants settling in Pennsylvania did the same in America during the early 1800s. In 1848, the London Illustrated News published this famous engraving depicting Queen Victoria and her royal family beside a decorated Christmas tree. And within a few years, nearly every English household had their own tree in allegiance to the monarchy. By 1900, the U.S. Forest Service estimated that at least 1 in 5 homes in America had adopted the Christmas tree tradition. Thousands of years earlier, God, speaking through the prophet Jeremiah, warned against this pagan practice in the Old Testament. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the ways of the heathen, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, they deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers that it move not. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good.
Santa Claus is another good example of a pagan element of Christmas. Santa Claus, as we know him today, is an amalgamation of several different traditions, but in most cultures throughout the world, you will find the existence of what is known as hearth gods, gods who guard the hearth and the chimney and keep the fires burning and make sure the food cooks properly and the people are warm and what have you. And at a certain time of year, in the middle of winter, typically, the hearth god dressed in red will come down the chimney to reward those who have pleased him during the course of the previous year, and to lay curses or hexes or other forms of punishment upon people who have displeased him.
The concept of Santa Claus has had a long and winding history, with a number of diverse cultures contributing to the composite character we have today. Beginning once again in Scandinavia, Santa's original incarnation was in the form of Odin, the pagan god of thunder, a tall fellow with a long flowing beard who inhabited the spirit-infested Nordic forests. Odin would travel the sky during the winter solstice, deciding who would die and who would prosper. Most believers were frightened of this particular time of year. In England, Odin eventually evolved into Father Christmas, who, crowned with sprigs of holly, traveled the countryside getting roaring drunk as part of the Festival of Fools celebration. Frequently, he would be accompanied by a horned goat, ironically the biblical symbol of those who reject the salvation of Jesus Christ. According to the traditions of the Church of Rome, there was a Turkish bishop named Nicholas who hailed from Myra in Asia Minor during the 4th century. He was known as the patron saint of seafaring men. Over the centuries, as the legend began to unfold, it was rumored that St. Nicholas had actually captured the devil himself, put him in chains, and made him his personal servant. Recognized in various cultures as Krampus, Beelzebub, or Zwart Piet, Black Peter, this assistant of St. Nicholas is best known by his German name, Knecht Ruprecht. Described as a hideous horned creature, the servant Ruprecht was a dark and sinister figure who stood in stark contrast to the saintly Nicholas. Somehow, Father Christmas's companion, the horned goat, had metamorphosized into the foreboding horned devil called Ruprecht. As St. Nicholas traveled from house to house, inquiring about the behavior of children, Ruprecht would drop candy and gifts down the chimney into the good children's shoes which had been placed there. It was from this story that we get our tradition of hanging stockings on the mantle at Christmas time. If able to recite a verse or demonstrate a skill for St. Nicholas, the child would receive a gift. If unable to remember a verse, or if the child had been bad, he or she would receive a switch or a whip. Ruprecht also carried a large sack which he would frequently use to haul away the really bad boys and girls.
As more and more Christian churches began combining the pagan rituals of the winter solstice with the celebration of the birth of Christ, emphasis on St. Nicholas's role began to shift. Some cultures began to downplay the role of St. Nicholas, but surprisingly retained Ruprecht.
Eventually, Knecht Ruprecht was made the companion and servant to the Christ child himself. In this scenario, the devil is actually given the title Weihnachtsmann, or Santa Claus. 19th century writer Theodor Storm, in his story about Knecht Ruprecht, even goes so far as to describe the switches given to the children by Ruprecht as tools to be used in sadomasochistic rituals. Soon, the image of Ruprecht would fade from the Christmas tradition, but not his sadistic influence. Many of the early depictions of Santa Claus portrayed him not as a jolly gift giver, but of an unfriendly disciplinarian complete with a ready switch or whip.
One of the problems with the Christmas gift thing for children is that it really is a religious teaching, a wrong religious teaching, because it teaches them that if they're nice, they get the gifts. If they're naughty, they don't. Or in my case, I was taught that he would leave us a bundle of switches. Isn't that interesting? It's a salvation by my own personal virtue. But there's a second thing wrong with it, and that is that they're going to get those gifts whether they're naughty or nice, because most parents love their children and wouldn't dream of, quote, ruining their Christmas. And they're not going to ruin Christmas. They're going to give those children the gifts anyway. And sooner or later, those thinking children are going to realize, I wasn't very nice, but I got the gift anyway. So it isn't important to be nice. It isn't important to do what is right and avoid what is wrong.
German immigrants coming to America during the 1620s tried to influence the New World with the stories of St. Nicholas and his gift-giving companion, Knecht Ruprecht. But somehow the idea just didn't take hold until almost 200 years later.
In 1819, America's best-selling author, Washington Irving, used his influence to promote St. Nicholas in a popular Christmas story titled Bracebridge Hall. Consulting Irving's writings, Episcopalian minister Clement Clark Moore penned a decidedly secular tale called A Visit from St. Nicholas in 1822. Later retitled The Night Before Christmas, Moore's poem was based on the tales of German and Dutch immigrants who had come to America. Intended originally only for his own children, Moore's story was published in the Troy Sentinel in New York and became an overnight sensation. Gone were the bishop's remnant of St. Nicholas. He was now a jolly old elf imbued with supernatural powers. Moore had also replaced Nicholas's companion, the horned Knecht Ruprecht, with 8 horned magical reindeer. As the popularity of The Night Before Christmas grew, Moore became increasingly concerned that the story's emphasis on the supernatural and its disregard for Christ would reflect poorly on his position as a minister. As a result, he refused to take credit for its creation until the story became so popular that he could no longer resist. 40 years later, illustrator Thomas Nast, political cartoonist for Harper's Weekly, seared the image of Santa Claus into the minds of the world by creating a drawing which combined Moore's jolly old elf with images of St. Nicholas taken from his own native Bavaria. By 1880, Santa was a thoroughly secularized folk hero who had become increasingly irresistible to retailers worldwide.
One factor that has contributed to the paganization of Christmas, the complete paganization of Christmas, has been the element of commercialism. It may seem odd to think of it in that context, but remember that Christ himself identified the love of money as a spiritual force in and of itself. and where it comes into play, it has a kind of naturally hostile effect on the gospel and the Christian faith. So the commercialization of Christmas has helped to highlight the pagan elements and to drive the overtly Christian elements further underground.
To me, the most obscene thing about Christmas celebrations and customs as we know them is that as a result of these things, Jesus is displaced in the hearts of children by Santa Claus. The love, affection, appreciation, trust, the desire to emulate these things that they should have in their hearts and minds as growing children for Jesus himself, to whom they owe everything. Instead, this has been stolen. This has been raped out of their hearts, in a sense, and displaced by the myth of Santa Claus.
He takes the place of God or of Jesus Christ in the special world that is Christmas. He has supernatural knowledge of your history. He has supernatural knowledge of your present, of your attitudes. He's keeping a list. He knows who's naughty and nice. Your parents don't even know that. He's obviously got some conduit to knowledge that is beyond the human, and he flies through the air, capable of visiting every place on the globe in the course of a single night. In many, many ways, Santa exhibits supernatural qualities that provide a kind of a surrogate deity or a substitute for God or for Christ.
Myths, by definition, evolve and change, and things are added. We used to have a Santa Claus figure that was confused with St. Nicholas and confused with other pagan figures, and then somehow he evolved through the drawings of Thomas Nast and others into what we see today, but he had a sleigh with 8 supernatural reindeer that can fly. And so the Christmas traditions that are pagan continue to change. But the truth of Jesus, the truth of the Incarnation, the truth that the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, never changes, never will.
Scriptures in the Bible, including the 2nd chapter of Luke, record the events surrounding the birth of the Messiah. A decree from Caesar Augustus had gone out, requiring all people to return to the city of their origin for taxation purposes. Mary, who was pregnant with a child conceived by the Holy Spirit, made the difficult journey to Bethlehem along with her husband Joseph. Both Joseph and Mary were of the lineage of King David. Upon arrival, they found all the inns to be full, but were provided with a stable where Mary could have her baby. At the same time, an angel announcing the birth of the Messiah appeared to shepherds tending their flocks in a field nearby. The stunned shepherds hurried to Bethlehem and found the baby Jesus lying in a manger just as the angel had declared. Although traditional nativity scenes placed 3 wise men at the stable at the time of Jesus Christ's birth, according to Scripture, these wise men visited Jesus later at his home. Because 3 gifts are named, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, tradition says 3 men gave them. But exactly how many wise men visited Jesus is not known. The birth of Jesus Christ miraculously fulfilled a number of Old Testament prophecies about the coming Messiah, including that he would be born in Bethlehem, that he would be born of a virgin, and that he would be a descendant of King David's.
The concept or the idea of celebrating the birth of Jesus once a year had apparently never occurred to the Church Fathers. In the first 3 centuries of the Church's history, there was no such thing. And I think God perhaps very carefully avoided telling us in the Scriptures when he was born. We can be sure of one thing: it wasn't in late December, and because in the first place, shepherds don't abide by their flocks in the fields by night in late December. It's too cold. They take them out in the morning to pasture, protect them while they eat all day, and then bring them back in at night. So it wasn't in late December. It's an interesting thing, and perhaps an intellectually tantalizing thought, to try to figure out when he was born. And it can be done within limits, and if it mattered, and apparently it doesn't matter to God, he was probably born in late September.
Some scholars point out that according to Scripture, The birth of Jesus may have taken place in the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles or September 29th. Ironically, this would have placed his conception right around December 25th. The timing of other events such as the temple service of Zacharias and the pregnancy of Mary's cousin Elizabeth lent credence to December 25th as being the date of Jesus' conception.
Since Christians believe that life begins at conception anyway, and not at birth as pro-abortionists believe, this may be a more appropriate reason to remember this time of the year as the period in which God came to earth in human form.
For some, Christmas today simply means a time to get together as a family. For pagans, it is a deeply religious time to celebrate the winter solstice. Retailers, of course, view it with eyes towards making huge profits. Others use this time to reflect on the birth or conception of Jesus Christ, while many parents use Christmas to perpetuate the myth of Santa Claus to their children.
In order to carry on this myth of Santa Claus, we must lie to our children. We must deceive them. We literally must lie to our children. And one of the wonderful things about children is that they naturally believe everything that we tell them when they're small. They trust us to tell them the truth. And if we deceive them in this way, it has to be destructive, because at some point in their future lives, they're going to wonder if other things we told them were true. The things we told them about the Lord, were they really true? It plants the seeds of doubt. And anyway, it creates disappointment. It creates disillusionment.
To my mind, the question is not so much whether to celebrate Christmas or even how to celebrate Christmas, but to be able to make any decision knowledgeably.
Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on IRFM. As I said, we had a Christian program tonight. We just play historical perspective of Christmas as it relates especially to the different things that Christians use to really celebrate it, not knowing the origin of this usage. Now we're going to play one from the History Channel, which is not a perspective like the first one, even though it have a lot of things tonight that relate to the first documentary we play. The reason why we have to do that is because the first one is as it relates to the Christian mindset and the Christian identifying. It's like, I think, like the same day them would I tell you, say, them not celebrate Christmas. Because them know that Christmas not have nothing to do with Christ. This next one we're going to play is about Christmas. A lot of the information is almost the same, but it coming from a neutral point of view.
The Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center. It's hard to imagine a Christmas in New York without it. But like many Christmas traditions, the tree is a relative newcomer to the Christmas story. Only since the early 19th century has the decorated tree been an important part of the American Christmas celebration. Hello, I'm Harry Smith. Welcome to the History Channel. Christmas trees, candy canes, even Santa Claus seem like they've been around forever. But many of these Christmas traditions are surprisingly recent. Join us as we look back at how a holiday that started in pagan Rome became the centerpiece of the Christian year, and why this season is known as much for shopping as the birth of the Christ child. Stay with us for Christmas Unwrapped.
Van Zandt, author of Acts of Faith, and you are listening to Mutabaruka.
It is a story everyone knows. After a rude refusal by a local innkeeper, Mary and Joseph bedded down in a barn in Bethlehem. The next day, Mary gave birth to a son, the Son of God. Those are the biblical origins of Christmas. But centuries before Jesus walked the earth, early Europeans were celebrating light and birth in the darkest days of winter. In the Norse country, this winter celebration was known as Yule. Around December 21st, the winter solstice, fathers and sons would drag home the biggest log they could find and set it on fire. The Yule log warmed, but it also looked ahead. Each spark was said to represent a pig or calf to be born in the spring. Also dragged inside were evergreens, the one plant that could make it through a Norse winter. Evergreens proved that life persisted in this dark time.
There's a natural attraction to that which lives through the winter when one is struggling to survive through the winter. The evergreen is that part of nature that seems impervious to the coming of winter and the diminishing of the sun. And so it's an absolutely natural symbol, one which I think you react to almost without thinking about.
For as long as the Yule log burned, about 12 days, feasting and revelry reigned supreme. In fact, this was one of the few times that meat was abundant, since cattle had just been slaughtered for the long winter.
There is a necessity to kill most of the cattle, because you can't keep them alive over the winter when there's nothing to feed them on. You keep a few alive for breeding. But there is an opportunity for a great blowout, for a great feast, time to party.
The party raged inside in defiance of winter's deadly howl.
There is a spooky feel about the northern Yuletide festivals. You may be all right there in the hall with the blazing fires, but outside there are demons, there are spirits.
In Germany, the pagan god Odin lent his name to this midwinter holiday. Early Germans were terrified of Odin, whose nocturnal flights decided who would prosper or perish in the coming year. Later, we'd see another Christmas sky rider, Santa Claus. But for now, staying inside became the smartest choice at this frightening time of the year. 1,000 miles away in Rome, winter was less harrowing, but the December festivals were just as elaborate. 1 week before the winter solstice, Romans began celebrating Saturnalia, a month-long orgy of food and drink. Named for the god Saturn, which meant plenty, Rome's established order was turned on its head during this wild, delirious time.
The Saturnalia celebrations were certainly times of revelry, of turning the social order upside down, of having the master pretend to be the slave and the slave pretend to be the master, sort of a time out of time in which one could celebrate a kind of disorder in the universe.
One of the holiday's important feasts was Juvenalia, which celebrated the children of Rome.
Although these early festivals are not necessarily about children particularly, but they are about fertility, children did have their particular place. The indulgence of children, of course, is very much a part of our modern Christmas, but it did have its place even in these ribald, drunken festivals that the Romans had.
Among the upper classes in Rome, solstice celebrations were significantly more sober. Many influential Romans worshipped Mithra, the god of the unconquerable sun. To this small but powerful sect, the birthday of Mithra was the holiest day of the year.
December 25th was the winter solstice in that part of the world, and it was also understood to be the birthday of the sun god, Mithra. And Mithra was said to be born from a rock. Shepherds came to worship him as he was an infant god born out in that pastoral place in the fields. And many of those stories, of course, have come into Christian tradition.
While the Romans were worshiping the sun god, a new religion was taking hold throughout the empire. At first, Christians didn't celebrate the birth of Christ. His resurrection was the essential fact of the new religion. By the 4th century, however, the question of the holy birth became impossible to ignore. For Christians, the fact of his birth was settled, but the date remained a mystery. The Bible doesn't mention exactly when Christ was born, but certain facts suggest it probably was not in December.
If you're going to sort through the runes of the scriptures, Jesus was probably born in the spring. If the shepherds are out in the fields watching their flock by night, we're not talking about one of the cold spells at the heart of winter.
If pagan Rome was already celebrating the birth of Mithra on December 25th, it seemed natural to honor the birth of the Christ child at the same time. By the 4th century, the church made it official. December 25th was declared the feast day of the Nativity.
But of course, it's a very short step from the feast day of the risen sun, S-U-N, to the feast day of the risen sun, S-O-N. So, in a sense, it's a very good choice, and the symbolism is there because, the feast day of the unconquered sun was about fertility, about birth. And so, obviously, it's the Christian Christmas.
The church knew it could not outlaw the pagan traditions of Christmas, so it set out to adopt them. The evergreens traditionally brought inside were soon decorated with apples, symbolizing the Garden of Eden. These apples would eventually become Christmas ornaments. And holly, a traditional midwinter decoration, was recast to represent Christ's crown of thorns.
People already had their own agenda for this season, and that agenda was not one that was really radically changed when the names got changed from non-Christian to Christian names. The church pretty much had a policy of live and let live. If people would call themselves Christians and do lip service to the birth of the Savior, then let them do anything that they wanted to do with it. But on the other hand, by assigning the nativity to that time of year, the church really gave up the opportunity to control the way that celebration took place.
The tension between piety and revelry at Christmas would reach its logical and extreme conclusion in Puritan England, when the holiday would be considered so un-Christian it was done away with altogether.
More snack food tech on Modern Marvels, tonight at 9 on the History Channel.
Now back to Christmas Unwrapped, here on the History Channel. By the Middle Ages, Christianity had largely replaced the old pagan religions of Europe. On December 25th, the faithful were called to Gothic cathedrals like Notre Dame and Salisbury Cathedral in England for Christ's Mass, soon to be called Christmas. But out in the streets, the holiday was still more raucous than religious.
If you went to England around Christmas time, any time before, say, 1800, you'd probably feel pretty ill at ease. You wouldn't think it was Christmas at all. What would you think it was? Maybe Mardi Gras, maybe New Year's Eve, maybe Halloween? Because Christmas in old-time England was really a carnival.
The houses of London were littered with brawling, drunken villagers and couples engaged in the most unholy activities. And each Christmas, a beggar or student was temporarily put in charge after being crowned the Lord of Misrule. The rest of the peasantry also got their once-a-year chance to grab power from the ruling classes.
They would go around to the houses of the rich, they would bang on the doors and demand entry, and once they were let in, The lord of the manor had to give them the best stuff that he had. He had to give them his best food, he had to give them his best beer, his best of everything.
And a jolly wassail, it's then you shall hear.
But if he didn't, they would threaten or actually perform a trick.
Come butler, come fill us.
One surviving Christmas song says, if you don't give us what we want, then down will come butler, bowl and all.
But if you do draw us a bowl of the small, and down shall go butler, bowl and all.
The rules of Christmas would soon change, however, as a wave of religious reform swept through England in the early 17th century. Led by Oliver Cromwell, the Puritans overthrew the king's forces in 1645 and vowed to rid England of all that was decadent. High on their list was English Christmas, and in 1652 they outlawed it altogether. Shops were ordered to stay open. Churches were forced to stay closed.
The Puritans were always, I think, deeply attracted to those things that they were most opposed to. They had a fear that they might have too good of a time. I don't mean to trivialize them, but there was a deep fear that if these things were legalized, they themselves might enjoy them and their souls would be lost.
The Puritans may have said good riddance to Christmas, but the people never really stopped celebrating it. The holiday merely went underground. If Christmas pie was illegal, it began to be known as mince pie instead, which was just as delicious.
The deeper need for Christmas in the human heart, the need for celebration at a time of darkness, those needs made the battle against Christmas, gave it a few temporary wins, but it couldn't possibly secure a final victory.
In 1656, the men of Kent and Canterbury passed a resolution saying that if they could not have their Christmas day, they would have the king back on his throne. They soon got their wish. The monarchy was restored with Charles II, and Christmas was restored with him. It seemed the English could live without a king, but not without Christmas.
It has been argued that one reason for the restoration of the monarchy is because by restoring the monarchy, you also restored Christmas. You restored the proper English Christmas with its rituals, its traditions, and its carousing. Christmas is brought back, if you like, by popular acclaim.
The fight against Christmas may have been lost in England, but the Puritans had high hopes for the new colonies in America. In 1620, a small group of separatists came ashore at Plymouth, Massachusetts. Even more orthodox than their English cousins, these men and women hoped to rid themselves once and for all of the Christmas scourge. In 1659, Puritans in Boston followed their English brethren in outlawing Christmas. Anyone caught exhibiting the Christmas spirit was fined 5 shillings. Like in England, however, Christmas remained impossible to contain. The 1719 Boston Almanac doesn't list a Christmas holiday, but it does recommend that in late December you not let your children and servants run too much abroad at night. Not all the colonies had such trouble with Christmas. Captain John Smith, leader of the Jamestown settlement in Virginia, wrote that their first New World Christmas was kept with plenty of good oysters, wild fowl, and good bread. Jamestown settlers were also the first to drink eggnog as a Christmas drink, the nog coming from the word grog, which means any drink made with rum. After independence, however, all things English fell out of favor in America, Christmas included. In fact, on December 25th, 1789, the United States Congress sat in session and continued to stay open on Christmas Day for most of the next 67 years.
At this same time, there are people who are writing in their diaries that, isn't it too bad we don't have any holidays? So after the revolution, here is an entire nation that works hard, has forsaken many holidays, has given up many holidays because they were holidays that were mandated by the Crown. And it is time to start thinking about how to populate the calendar.
As the 19th century dawned, Christmas would be one holiday that would pull the new nation together. But it wouldn't be the carnival Christmas of Old England, nor would it be particularly religious. America would invent its very own Christmas, and in the process, reinvent it for the whole world. New York City, 1820. Within the space of a generation, New York had gone from a backwater port town to the center of American commerce. Great wealth came to a few during these years, and moderate livings to the burgeoning middle class. But the Industrial Revolution had also created a class of the unemployed and unconnected, whose very existence threatened the cozy world of New York's middle rung. This was never more clear than at Christmas time.
Class conflict was emerging with the earliest stages of industrial capitalism. And so what had previously just had an edge of menace, a little bit of trick, but much more goodwill, much more treat, now changed, and the menace became increasingly obvious and increasingly serious. So that by the 1820s, the Christmas season in cities like New York was really a time of gang rioting, a really very, very nasty scene. So nasty, in fact, that in the year 1828, the New York City Council for the first time instituted the professional police force for the city as a direct result of a particularly savage Christmas season riot the year before.
New York's upper class was worried. So worried that a few of them set out to change the way the holiday was celebrated. Washington Irving was America's best-selling novelist, and in 1819 he used his expertise to write Bracebridge Hall, an enormously popular series of stories about Christmas at an imaginary English manor house. Here, the classes mingled effortlessly as squires welcomed friendly and grateful peasants into their homes. And in 1843, England's most popular writer, Charles Dickens, tackled the Christmas problem with A Christmas Carol. It was a bestseller in London and America, and the lessons of the story struck a powerful chord on both sides of the Atlantic.
Christmas Carol, I think, showed the Victorians what could be the use and the meaning of Christmas in a society which was quite pleased with itself in a way, but which nevertheless had fears about inequality, about too much materialism, about perhaps just too rapid change.
There have been countless treatments of this Christmas classic, some in print and some on screen. This television version is from 1958, but the themes are straight out of the 19th century.
You'll want all day tomorrow, I suppose, Crescent.
Quite convenient, sir.
It's not convenient.
But it's only one day in the year, sir.
A poor excuse to pick the pocket of your employer every 25th of December.
I think the character of Ebenezer Scrooge taught a very important lesson to middle-class people.
Christmas. Nonsense. Humbug.
Because the Christmas season presented them with a real problem. What do we owe to the different people in our world? What do we owe to our families? What do we owe to our employees? What do we owe to the anonymous poor?
At first, Ebenezer Scrooge refuses to face those problems, but after his visions of Christmas past, present, and future, Scrooge learns that family and charity cannot be ignored at Christmas time.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge and Mrs. Cratchit, for you. My dear, that's for you.
It really is a conversion story. I mean, it's a story about this hard-hearted man being reborn to Christmas observance.
And I'm going to raise your salary and help your large family in every way possible.
That conversion story is important for Victorians to be thinking about their own conversion to the holiday, because it is very much that they are being reconverted. So many of them had given up on the holiday, so now they have to come to terms with their own reconnection with that, and Scrooge is a way of doing that.
There's this lovely story of Dickens going around America on one of his famous reading tours, and this American factory owner going to a reading of Christmas Carol, and on the way home saying to his wife, "Next year we shall close the factory on Christmas Day."
19th century Americans were discovering Christmas after a 200-year drought of Puritan disapproval. But the holiday would never have taken hold if society wasn't ready for it. One important shift was occurring right inside the family itself.
Before the 19th century, the family existed as what we might think of as an engine of discipline, designed to train children to work hard. After 1820, 1830, the family was very quickly and perceptibly becoming an agency that was designed to provide the emotional nursery for children so that they could grow up being sensitive little people who took a lot of pleasure in the family and in the world itself.
Christmas was tailor-made for this transition. Now there was a holiday where attention could be lavished on children without seeming to spoil them.
The moment of Christmas where parents started to pay attention to their children. I sometimes come to think of this as the invention of quality time within the family. Parents would discover the joy that they could take out of watching the joy in their children's faces when they gave their children presents.
Americans now knew why they were celebrating Christmas, but they didn't know exactly how to go about it. The old pagan revelry was clearly inappropriate for a Victorian home, but some ancient traditions were perfect for reviving. The Christmas tree has its roots in Germany, where decorated evergreens had always been a part of the winter celebrations. But the tree might have stayed there if not for the royal marriage in 1840 of Victoria, the Queen of England, to her cousin, Prince Albert of Germany. Albert brought his German ways to Windsor Palace, including the annual Christmas tree. In 1848, the London Illustrated News published this engraving of the royal family, standing by the first Christmas tree most English had ever seen. In just a few years, a decorated fir could be found in nearly every English home at Christmas.
Karnak Hardware Limited now offers free paint mixing service. Bring in any color and we can mix it spot on. Or just to choose the color and finish you want from our wide selection of colors, and we'll mix it while you wait. Now in stock, ceramic and mosaic tiles at affordable prices. Stop by and see us today. Karnak Hardware Limited, Main Street, Salem, Runaway Bay. Call us at 973-5525. Visit us today.
It's JENS Auto Sales Limited Pre-Christmas Special for 6 weeks only beginning November 7. Get unbeatable prices on some of the used cars including Honda, Nissan, Suzuki, Toyota, Subaru and Mazda. We offer warranty and arrange financing, free fitness and licensing fee. Visit us at 29 Halfway Tree Road, Kingston 5 or call us at 968-8364 or 926-9628. Visit our website at www.jesautosales.com.
The Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica is encouraging you to save energy this Christmas. Use fewer lights in your Christmas decorations. Instead, use reflective material to spread the glow. Switch to LED Christmas lights and use less electricity. Turn off the lights if you're leaving the house and switch off the lighting display when you're closing your business for the day. Don't burn Christmas lights for more than 5 hours each day. Just turn them on after dark and don't leave them burning all night. Limit the lights and save energy this Christmas. A message from the PCJ, your energy advisor.
Galchester, Silent Hill, Towleville, Smalling,
Fastness to jump off, now go normal. Silent till girl chest of fans loyal. Tell them December 10th in a Starland at the big event. Fastness! Here is Fastness, oneness, proud to present the annual. Jump off, December 10th at the Starland. Silent till girl chest of featuring Gold Star, Stone Love, Bishop Escobar. Live performance by me, Bounty Killer. Alongside Grandpa Entertain and Ordinary. Admission 500. Jump off! Jump into them chest.
Shabana celebrates 10 years in theater with a wild new comedy, Michael Denton's Chick Star, directed by Lloyd Allen and Garfield Reed.
You're doing your hair or your shape today?
My hair!
You sure?
There's something wrong with my shape.
Hold on there. We'll find it.
What you find?
The back of the Titanic.
Opening Friday, December 16th at Crown Playhouse, 53 Malines Road, next door Olympia Crown Hotel, Kingston. Showtime is at 8 p.m. Michael Denton's Chick Star, playing Friday to Sunday, 8 p.m. nightly. The first 10 persons each show night pay half price.
Yeah, this is the Coaching Edge on RFM. All right, so we are trying to make a point with them two different documentary, and we want to stop them because we want to tell you that if you listen to the first one, it tells you about the different origins of the Christian symbols, the Christmas symbol, not Christian symbol, the Christmas symbols. You know, where it originated from in Europe and all this. And the second one show you the evolution of Christianity from Europe to America. And it evolved into where we know it now. So what we have is a American version of Christianity after it was rejected in America for how much years, also in England. And what it shows with the two things is that really and truly it has nothing to do with any man who was born 2,000 years ago. That is the point we're trying to make. The point is that a lot of people religiously and really, really genuinely accept this idea that there's a man named Jesus Christ that was born on the 25th of December. When we know, and coming from what we heard, is that really what it turned into is a thing of family giving things to families and whole heap of partying and revelry and commercialization, commercialism. It's two things it talk about. It talk about commercialism, it talk about the disconnection from Christ, and it talk about how the Americans them now turn it into a recognition of children thing. But them still interject something in the name Santa Claus, which became more important than Jesus. And it's true. Santa Claus to children in Christmas is more important than Jesus. And that is strange. Now we come to African people now. What is it in those two documentaries? What have you heard in those two documentaries that connect you with your ancestral past, your African past? Nothing. There's nothing there that connect Chinese people to that. Nothing connects Indian people to that. All of it is coming from Europe. That is what you call European supremacy in religious beliefs as it relates to the Western world, as it relates to how people now is manipulated by this religion or this concept. Because there's nothing in those two different historical references that relate to Chinese people, that relate to African people, that relate to Indian people. All of it is coming from Europeans. All of it. So it is really a European thing. And then now we look at it and say, why the hell are we as African people enslaved by this idea to the point where we say if we don't have it, we have to have something to substitute it for, we have to have something in place of it. Like the Americans. It's like Halloween. How the hell Jamaican people are celebrate Halloween and Thanksgiving? What the hell is happening? We not to say Halloween and Christmas come up at the same little madness. It's just that Christmas they are longer and it got through so much different changes over the years that sometimes we can't even recognize the problems that confront us because we take unto ourselves these ideas. We can't understand it. We can't understand how a group of people is manipulated by another group of people who is perpetuating their understanding, their culture, their reference point. And we there so I go on like say, it don't make no difference. It don't make no difference. What you think? What you really think? We're going to open the phone line them. We're going to open the phone line them because, as we have said, we're not going to do this again for the rest of the year. But, you know, we usually do these things at this time of the year because we really have to do it over and over and over and over. We're not business if it look like nothing happen, but we know, say, really and truly, where we are do and where we know is not where them teach us. We come to this understanding because of digging out. And I just said bring it to. You know. And when we look on what going to transpire over the next several days, and we keep regurgitating it, vomiting it, drinking back the vomit, vomiting it, drinking back the vomit, year in, year out, year in. And black people, right now, in the Western world, get caught tonight more than white people. Because it would appear to me that them pass that stage, you know. Ham sell more this time of year than any time of the year. Ham. Pork sell more. Oh, we don't recognize all of them things there. Pork. A meat that is despised in most places in the Eastern world. Pig. Whether you're Christian or Muslim in the Eastern world, you know, say the majority of people in the world are Muslim. And that is a despising. And when we look for only for Christian people no eat pork. If it is Roman Catholic, you will. Because them not ease up off or nothing. And as a matter of fact, a lot of the belief system we have as it relates to Jesus Christ is Rome give it. Just as how them give it this idea about Christmas. It's Rome. So all people are fight against Rome, so I talk about the Pope and this and Pope and that. And them still take part in it. The Bible says, come out of it. Come out of it. Come out. The system halfway to a point of not recognizing that it has nothing to do with we. As African people, it has nothing to do with we. Listen to it and tell me which part of Africa printing it. Africa is the second largest continent. With all that we are going there, so what Africa have to do with it? What China have to do with it? Nothing. But we sit every year we continue it. And we wonder how the thing stayed away. The lie has become a truth to the one who is blind and who allow a one-eyed man to rule you. Because in the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. In the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And he will forever be king. Because the blind cannot see that them going to a precipice. And somehow we all fall over the precipice already. And we recognize it. We feel good. And we sing and dance right to the edge of the precipice. Yes. We love it. We're feeling good about it. It's a serious, serious thing, brethren and sisters who are listening to it. And we have to wake up. We have to wake up, man. We have to wake up. We have slept so long. Show me what in those two things where we play a while ago. What is it in that connect you to anything African? And everybody's supposed to connect. Everybody's supposed to connect to them ancestral land and the people them that them neighbors string connect to. You're supposed to connect to that. Tell me what in those two documentary connect you to your ancestral land and your ancestors. I put it to you that there's nothing that connect you. Yet still, we take it upon ourselves every year to celebrate these European holidays that is used to cloud with mind. Them use the holidays them to cloud with mind. For make we feel say everything is okay. And we can't sift through the mud. The question is, after listening to those two things, what in those two things you can truly say that what you believe in is related to any of those two things? To the Christian-minded person, if what is said on those two documentaries is true, and I believe it because it is their history and they're talking about their history. If all of that what they're saying, the origin of the mistletoe, the origin of the Christmas trees, the origin of Santa Claus, and even the idea of how Christmas come about. If these people is telling you about their history, how the hell you view it as your history and celebrate it with them? How can you hear somebody history that is totally disconnected from anything in our history where you and your ancestors have experienced, and now you grab it up and hug it up like it's your history and evil fight and die for it and separate yourself from people who don't accept it? Because you have Christians who don't accept it. And they are ostracized because them don't accept it. You have people like me who don't accept it. And it's ostracized. And it's looked upon and frowned upon because we don't accept it. And a lot of the people them who frown upon people who don't accept it don't know the history of what them is claiming them accept. And if you listen to that and you hear the history, and you still frown upon people like me, like a 70-year-old, whosoever not celebrate, I think Jehovah's Witness not do it neither. Stand to be corrected. But you have denominations in a Jamaica where don't celebrate that because them see it as something outside of what them truly believe in, them faith, which is Jesus Christ. They believe in Jesus Christ and them know that they have nothing to do with them faith. And the majority of people, them almost like Well, you know, me come here, come see it. My band come see it. And this and that. And, you know, the idea good for gifts and thing. And, you know, it gives you a sense of family structures and all them thing there. It's like we never have no family structure. It's like we never have no family structure. The Chinese have family structure. When you see them come together as Chinese people, and them recognize them family and them structure. Nobody never go at them land and drag them out and carry them go to next land and turn them in a slave. We add family structures. We add family structures. But it get wiped out. But now, our mind still blurred. Our mind is still blurred because history does not treat us fairly, because who write the history is the same people them who perpetuate the madness in our history. Them perpetuate the madness in our history, and we know we internalize it. We internalize it. So we don't know no other history but their history. And we grab up the history like, wow. It's a terrible thing. Terrible thing. Continue Edge.
Hey, good evening, Muta. How you doing, man?
Blessed man, how you doing?
Well, man, all right, but you know, just another, as you say, another holiday season. We over here celebrating the white man's Christmas, you know, and just a little background on the Christmas thing here. You know, in ancient Greece, these people, when there was not wartime, in the cold time, these Greece people used to celebrate, to drink their wine, eat their grapes, and eat all type of meat. But at the time, their celebration, they wasn't celebrating with women, they were celebrating with little boys, if you know what I mean.
Hold on there. Why you think that most angels is little boys, little babies?
I thought you would never call it that one.
No, if you look on the angel, some little babies are Cupid and all them little angel with little bow and arrow and little wing. It's little children. It's children.
And naked also.
Yes.
And naked. Yes.
That is them culture.
That is a Greek. The Christmas thing is white man Greek practice. And by the way, after the celebration of the family, they took that from African people celebrating, coming together at the end of the year, which today we call Kwanzaa. They took that out of
Kwanzaa is after. Kwanzaa is after, brethren. Kwanzaa is not before Christmas.
I understand, but I'm saying they call it Kwanzaa today. But back in the days, with the Egyptians used to come together and celebrate their family. We call it Kwanzaa today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, remember, they copy all of our history and they turn it.
Yeah,
because they try to make it be the image of their image, you know. And then, as you say, we swallow up hook, line, and sinker.
Now tell you, sink.
Exactly. They destroy our culture and build up theirs. And we gravitate to it because we do not know our history.
Yeah.
But the good thing is now, as I say, man, you know what, Muta, I never say to you before, but let me say to you now, man, I appreciate the work that you've been doing out there. I mean, a lot of brothers who are here in America, we listen to you. I mean, I'm just one mostly on the phone, but you know, the other brothers they listen to you and sisters too.
Yeah,
we listen to you here, and we give our comments and we talk. Again, as I say, I have a group of friends.
Yeah.
But we want to say thank you.
Wait, I can tell you something. You see, the idea of we not knowing our history, this program, you know, where I do, all right, since you know, that will not teach you our history, but I want to show you film history and show me what in a film history connect with we. As in, for instance, now that those two documentaries we just play a while ago, it's film history. Now you have to go looking at that now as an African person and say, what is in those two documentary that connect to you as an African person? And I put it to you that there's nothing that connect us to what them said here. So obviously we're supposed to reject it right away, you know. But you have people who are listening to me now and I say, what am I talk about? I have to celebrate Jesus Christ, Christmas, and everything. After I'm done here, said, now I've done to do with Christ, you know. Him still, I got to tell you, say, boy, right now, we're going by the man, him can't go that evening, you know. My mother did not celebrate it, my grandmother did not celebrate it, so what am I talk about? I saw them reaching up her chain.
But the thing with people, you see, Muta, the thing is they don't do their homework. They don't do the investigation. Yeah. They just swallow everything what's been given to them.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why our people is in the position that we are right now. Because we believe the lie. They erase our history, and we believe the lie. I remember one time you were on the radio, and I heard you saying that you gave a little girl a hunk. Which is a honk means that's the thing for life, the key for life.
Yes.
And this Jamaican ignorant ass man gonna tell you what kind of devil something them is.
In fire, Virgin.
In fire. Oh my! You see, that's a.
She bought the ankh. She bought the ankh in my store as a pendant, and she got to work with it. And the person who employer says a devil symbol, she must take it down and say, no, it's not a devil symbol. And then fire.
And you see, and look here, this is black doing this to black. Yeah. Before this man does his investigation to know what the ankh is.
He's a Christian, watch out. Christian not doing no investigation about no ankh. As far as them concerned, it's a devil symbol. It's not doing no investigation about it.
You know what, Mota, and talk about that, right? Okay, as I said one time, Lucifer is the ancient name, the ancient Roman name for the planet Venus. Devil, the word devil actually, you just put a D in front of the word evil, and you get the word devil. Devil is actually being devalued. Demon is just to demonize or to put down somebody's name. None of that stuff exists. That's an all Roman make-up name. After they copy, they know our history. They know about the laws of opposites. Remember the laws of opposites. We got positive and negative, right?
Yeah.
We got mountains and valleys. We got creatures in the water, creatures on land, night and day, man and woman. It's just the way the universe creates things. So these people knew the esoteric knowledge, and they know the exoteric knowledge, and they change it up and change up the teaching of the ancient black African people, which we have put down on this planet. They have changed up the teaching and give us this lying philosophy to control us and to make money off of us.
Still I do it.
And keep us in slavery.
Still I do it, Regent. Still I do it.
Yeah. And the thing is, and right now, they will hate men like me and you for telling them the truth. They will say, yo, we're out of our minds. And the fact that, to be honest with you, they've been out of their minds for many, many years. They still can't see right now. Okay, where is Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, and God in slavery? Where was Jesus Christ when those 9 people got shot here in America, in North Carolina? Where was when that Dylan Roof boy killed those 9 people who were worshiping Jesus Christ? The Bible even says, wherever 2 or 3 are gathered, there I will be in the midst to bless and to do good. So please tell me, Jamaicans, Christians, how come you have not seen that yet? Yeah. How come God was not, Jesus Christ was not in the midst?
You must say my defend himself. Yeah, the youth say my defend himself. The one we got chat out the people them at the church. Him say my defend himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And if you don't mind sharp, him get to it too.
One more time, say that again.
I say if you don't mind sharp, him get a fight too. If you don't mind sharp, because up to now, a whole heap of police who kill black people get a fight in a some little round the corner way, you know them way there. So, you know.
Because it's all about white supremacy.
Yes.
And instead of we black people working together, I'm trying my very best. My professor right now, there's a professor that I have in Africa. He's trying his very best. We're trying our very best to bring the black family together. We're trying to teach. We hook up with men like you and other people here in America to speak these things and to show. You know, the thing is, we over there arguing and fighting about white supremacy, but yet we black people won't unite yet. We don't have to care about white supremacy. All we need to do is unite and begin to work together. Yeah. They teach us to separate from one another and fight against one another. When the truth is, we black people are the beings that God put all the generation of men and women out of. I don't know what to say to my people.
Well,
all I can do is we carry on.
Give thanks for the call, brethren.
Yeah, man, real talk, brethren. Hey, you know what? Have a blessed holiday season. I'm not going to say no more Christmas. Have a blessed holiday season, man. We'll talk.
How is it that historians can tell you when certain kings born and great men that lived like 3,000, 4,000 years ago, but them do have no birthday for Jesus Christ? Something is intrinsically wrong. Something is intrinsically wrong with the idea where the Bible mentioned nothing about any date. People speculate about it. It's a serious thing. It's a question we need to ask and get answered by Christian people. How come you don't know when Jesus born? That is really serious. And you know when Caesar born. And you know when all the other people them born. Yeah. Cutting edge.
Yeah, cutting.
Blessed man, how you do, man?
Yeah, man, Kev, Alibaba.
Hey, boss, me know you, man. You keep on saying Kev. Everybody must know your voice, by the way, though.
Yeah.
You don't have to introduce yourself, but everybody know yourself more your by now, man.
So I'm saying you listen to them.
All right, go on. Say it again. Kev
Okay. Man, I'm from the Britain.
When you come back to Jamaica, what you going to say? Kev who used to live in Alabama. When you come back to Jamaica, you're going to say Kev who used to live in Alabama.
No, well, them time there, you know. But they had to take in a reason and thing. And
yeah.
We have a book that too. We write, you know, me I look on them pagan origins of the Christ myth.
Yeah, I know that book. You used to sell that book there.
Yeah. Okay. And boy, I tell you, reveal some things. Some things, man.
And after you have all of these books and you have all of these documentaries, obviously people don't listen to it. That is why we play it still, because we want some people listen to it. But my question, you know, I'm going to keep asking the question. If you listen to that as an African person or as a Chinese person, and you listen to that documentary of white people talking about the historical thing of Christmas, what is it in that connect you to that? What is it as a Chinese person would connect you to that? What is it as an African person would connect you to that? There's nothing that connects you to it. Nothing.
Nothing at all. Only, you know, say, through slavery, that's how we connect with it through beating. You know? And beating, how we can. Enough people, you know, say, boy, I was looking, you know, say, up as I do in America. I to them there in my workplace. Me that Santa made them attack, boy, you know.
But Santa have more significance in a Christmas than Jesus.
Nobody not talking about Jesus.
They never hear the man say, them replace, in the first documentary, them replace Jesus with Santa Claus. So Santa Claus has more significance now to the children, them. You can't have Christmas without Santa. You can't have Christmas without Jesus.
And that's a go on now.
Is that a go on?
I mean, you know, but Jamaican people never agree, say, boy, well, you know, say, actually nothing can really go so still, because all the time be cool and so forth. But what a man says, like, that him a hold on to, because that them need to teach him for a longer time.
Watch a man, Santa Claus is a gay guy. And him is a pedophile. Him list appear children him deal with is a pedophile. You know, to the people them where him have up in the bush there. Look on them, and some little short man he might imagine say a picnic.
Yeah.
Santa Claus is gay. And him obese too, him obese.
Hollywood come and build pan. Once Hollywood build pan, he gone, you know.
Yeah, man. Terrible thing, man. Terrible thing.
Yeah, it's not to pay attention. No, I see when it come on to stuff in our Bible, you know, because when you say like herbs are healing, you know, and the herbs are good. Nobody now work with that. Like all the Christians out there about the herbs, the island and stuff.
Yeah, people are saying, but I can tell you something now. You listen to where them say all of the things them on the tree represent. Then that no white magic. And when you bring the tree in your house, you bring in the pagan god. Saturnalia, where's a phallic symbol. You know what a phallic symbol? A penis, you know. It's a penis. It would represent a penis. So what may I say? All of them things there is where them would have, if we talk about eyes and them must say obia. All of them things there is white magic. Where superstitiously make you believe, say, if you do them things there, there's some supernatural Santa Claus that will come with and deal with certain things. So all them are talk about our things. Like say, it don't make no sense if we are talking about aisle. You have aisles that create a certain ambience, a certain vibration. You have aisles that do that. All of those things in them white world create certain vibration to them. So we are taking it up on ourselves. No, you think it's not going to work for we? It's going to work in the opposite direction for we. You understand?
You tell them something that you meet some hip white people. Them into them aisles, I know.
Yeah.
Them into the aisles and them into the thing that should them know the connection.
Then when you go far enough, when you go in an aisle shop, the white people own the shop, man.
White people own the shop, man. He must tell us that foolishness. But when him freak now, he must run up and down and lose his shadow.
Yeah, man.
No? Me use the aisle, I tell us to them work, I have the one named Lavender Aisle.
Yeah.
Anything in a sinus congestion, anything in that farm, then it clear up.
They don't see him with frankincense, man. Frankincense, a good thing, you know. Black people feel a lot like yars, man.
But them read the Bible side, then give baby Jesus, and them should afraid of it.
Because you see them use a embalm people, put it over people and embalm, but them don't say frankincense can't drink. There was a time, what can I tell you something? In the time, when I'm hear about the Queen of Sheba, Makeda.
Yeah.
In them time, you see frankincense that was one of the most precious things that you can find, you know. Frankincense.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you have frankincense, you're rich, you know. It's like when we go to Lalibela. We are told in Lalibela, we're going to the market and the people, them, bargain with salt, you know. Salt, S-A-L-T, them bargain with salt. Salt is a commodity where can make you wealthy. And them bargain with it. No, frankincense.
Any salt or what kind of salt?
The salt like where them have in Africa, man, in Ethiopia. Them salt is like, them get it out of the sea, them get it from rivers, and where them get it. Rock, you know, like you have Himalayan salt in a Himalayan mountain.
Okay, yeah,
you know,
salt,
Celtic salt, them really. All right. So what may I say now is that the oils and the frankincense was something very precious. It's not, but when people hear about frankincense, you know, it's like shut it off, you know. But frankincense is a very good substance. It's like amber, which is like frankincense. It's like myrrh. You know, it's like eucalyptus. It's like sage.
Yeah.
Like when the Indian, the Native American, them use nub sage. Right? Yeah. Like when you go into them rituals and them places, them are burn sage. Because there's certain vibration and aura that's presented in these things. Yeah. Where these people... Where not these people come learn it from indigenous people, you know. And when them take it now, and we now have it, them demonize it when we have it, you know. And then them go make money off it now, and then tell we say, this and we they like an idiot now, I say, no, frankincense, no, oil up, and this and that. Yeah, oil up for the wrong reason. Terrible thing.
Them have it to sell and I make millions off it.
Yeah, man. I love for the wrong reason,
I just talk about frankincense. We have a book in front right now. Me I look and it says it's known for uplifting spirit, improving attitude, and also stimulate the immune system, relaxing muscles, and managing inflammation. And the same oil business.
Yeah, man. You can't drink it too. You can't drink it.
Yeah. You have to get some.
Anyway. May I listen, Regine?
Yeah, they talk about the oils and early. The people understand, you see, oils, precious stones and stuff, they carry a certain frequency, you know, where in line with frequency of your heart Yo, cause it's the body electric. Remember we are talking about the body electric. We come right around to that. There are certain frequency coming in music, where certain music relax you. Cause it play at a certain music where them call brainwave. Them call brainwave.
Yeah.
Brainwave length. Yeah, it just play at a certain thing resonates. Like a precious stone. I have 2 precious stones. You sleep with them, you get a certain vibe. You understand?
But you see, in a Europe,
resonate a certain frequency, you know?
In a Europe, you see, why you think say the aristocrats them never usually bathe often? Because them know so them have oils. Them get the oils them from the African, them the Moors. Then Queen Elizabeth, I don't go twice a year, Queen Elizabeth bathe. I'm not about this Queen Elizabeth, I don't want nobody to get me wrong, I'm not about Queen Elizabeth the First. Queen Elizabeth the First was known to bathe twice per year. Right? And what keep the smell away was the different oils that was coming in from India, China, and all of these North African places. Because the North African, them, and all these people, Chinese, Indian, they was into oils. See? So you have certain places in India where you can't, you're ready to have sex, you have to have certain oils ready. And you have to have candle burning.
Which one?
Which one of the oil? What is the mad one? Oh, you get so excited. Which one? When you have certain people, when them going to in a certain vibration, you know, karmatic vibration, you burn your incense and your certain smell, and it arose certain frequency in you, and then you develop a certain attitude. Now, white people start to know these things, you know, but black people throw it away. Black people throw it away because you know, I pray. So it's a joke business. Anyway, give thanks, brethren. Give thanks.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
Yes. Yeah. Cutting Edge. RFM. By now, the listeners must know that this tune by Babandi is one of my favorite tune them of all times. Believe you me, Feeling Soul, man. May I tell you, man. It's a gospel song, this.
You got to feel it.
Yes, Cutting Edge.
Yes, Smoother.
Oh, you know, man.
Yes, man, memory lane. When I hear it start with the Let Them Say, we just remember when I got Kingston because 1968 reggae come out and I dance to that. Let Them Say as one of the early reggae tunes, Studio One.
Yeah, man.
And also the Feeling Soul, and of course from the Baba and the Studio One songbook album, classic album, one of the greatest albums ever.
Unchained. Big
tune, man. One of the greatest music albums ever, and big up to the man Baba and the genius songwriter and singer who I spoke to yesterday incidentally, as well as my brethren Castro Brown.
Oh, you talked to Baba and yesterday? Me didn't do that talk.
Yeah, man. We talked to Baba and yesterday, man.
Yeah, give thanks, man. Give thanks.
Yes, man, and also my brethren Castro Brown. Yeah, man, for real. You know,
so big up. We're going in England, what you want to tell me about?
Yes. On Friday the 2nd, I had to take the recently appointed, the new Jamaica Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade to task, Kamina Johnson Smith. Her father is Anthony Johnson, who was the High Commissioner here for the GNP some time ago. One of the things that I don't like about this senator thing is when people who are senators, not elected in elections by the voters, the people, but who are appointed, you know, I see this as a gravy train thing, being given ministerial positions. And this was further reinforced my feeling against senators, people not elected by the people to be given ministerial portfolios. Was when last Friday at the Jamaica High Commission, the 2nd, after she spoke in the question and answer reasoning part, I said to her 2 things. I said, Portia Simpson said that Jamaica should become a republic and that she was making some moves. Of course, P.J. Patterson before her said that. Andrew Onis, since he won the election, has changed his position from saying that the economy, we have to concentrate on getting the economy better, which is stalling tactics, delaying tactics. Because since then, since he has come in, I have read where Andrew Onis has said that Jamaica should become a republic. And yet she, this lawyer, young lawyer, Kamina Johnson Smith, when I said that Jamaica needs to become a republic because we cannot be independent, as you and I and others have said all the while, and have a foreigner, a European, as a head of state of Jamaica, whereby the Governor General does not represent the people of Jamaica, but represent Elizabeth II, the head of, and also her heirs and successors, etc. You know, right away her reaction was against that. So she's for the maintenance.
What you say? What you say? What you say? What you say?
Her thing is that, you know, Andrew Onis, the Prime Minister, said that that is not important. The most important thing is for the economy to get better. But I said to her, that is just an excuse, because you can use that argument about the economy getting better to put off the fact that Jamaica must have a Jamaican as the head of state. And I said, this is why Marcus Garvey said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery, none but ourselves can free our minds, because you cannot be economically strong and self-sufficient if you have a slave mentality where you believe you cannot direct and control your own destiny. Then she tried to come back at me and said, well, there was some poll, some survey where 62% of the people in Jamaica said they want. So when she thought she had me there, but I slammed her and said the reason why that is so is because of slave miseducation. You can't blame people who have been miseducated, and this is why you do what you do, I do what I do, we as Africans to educate our people. So I said what is needed is re-education to get rid of this slave mentality that some European must be our head of state, etc.
Well, it's like people that tell you say Jesus Christ did born on the 25th of December, or else we wouldn't learn it that way there.
Exactly.
So who is me now to come tell people that about that and that when we don't know so Jesus Christ born on the 25th of December? Them not really know it. I hear them here, so.
Precisely.
I know white people come tell them say I'm not true. Jesus never born on the 25th of December.
Definitely. But this is so instead of embracing what the PNP should have done and what the GLP should have done, if they were honest, in educating our people away from the slave mentality. One thing, don't want to do that. Want to be using the fig leaf, but concentrate on the economy. Are you going to concentrate on the economy? Because I said mental liberation goes along with economic liberation. They go hand in hand. They're not mutually exclusive.
You don't have to stop one. You don't have to stop one for work on the other. You don't have to stop one for work.
Precisely, because they're not mutually exclusive. But it just got to show how some of these people are the very people holding back the independence of African people in Jamaica.
So she don't know why most Jamaicans would that say them want to hold on on the Queen. She don't know why that would happen. Say it's really because the people them don't know.
But she well know. But you see, she's part of that order want to maintain that kind of mentality. And this is why I'm saying this publicly. So I denounce her for trying to make excuses for maintaining this slave mentality that we must have Elizabeth II as the head of state.
Most
people in Jamaica.
Most Jamaicans don't know that the Governor General wife is the First Lady and not the Prime Minister wife.
Yes.
It's not the Prime Minister wife is the First Lady of Jamaica, it's the Governor General wife. Most Jamaicans don't know that.
They don't know that. And this is why I'm saying it is deliberate, it's a slave mentality. Then the next thing that I brought onto her was about the gun violence in Jamaica that impedes economic progress in Jamaica, whereby a lot of people in Jamaica and outside of Jamaica as Jamaicans are afraid to invest in Jamaica, live in Jamaica because of the gun violence. And I use as an example the gun violence in West Kingston. Specifically Tivoli Garden, Denham Town, and that type of situation and so on. And of course, Desmond Mackenzie, he's the MP, he's responsible as the representative, and Andrew Holness as the Prime Minister, right? He should be visiting there to quell things and to work things out. But I use West Kingston to say, can you imagine West Kingston, which is a very small place in terms of area, and is part of the capital of Jamaica, being beset by this rampant gun violence that does not bode good for Jamaicans at home and abroad. She tried to, instead of addressing the fact that Andrew Holness as the Prime Minister, Desmond Mackenzie as the MP for that constituency in West Kingston, should deal with that problem with the youths there, and because that's their responsibility, and to do whatever is necessary. She was saying, well, it's not just West Kingston, it's all over Jamaica. I said that. I said that the rampant gun violence holds back economic progress for people in Jamaica. So that's the whole country. And I merely cited West Kingston as the latest example. And again, what it goes to show is that whenever you talk to these political appointees whose loyalty is to their party, they don't address what you are telling them about, They're finding all kind of smoke screens and trying to evade. But it will not work, and this is why I have deliberately come to let you and others know how I had to take her to task. Coming as Minister of Foreign Trade and Foreign Affairs. I mean, who is she? Who knows her? She has never faced our electorate. She's a senator, meaning that she was appointed. And I'm against this thing of senators being appointed to ministerial positions. It's a gravy train. Jobs for their friends.
Yeah, well, don't for that going down here. All when them not senator. Them still are
it's the same thing. And at this time of the year, what they call, these airline companies call high season, where fares are the most expensive. You know, the average price for people wanting to come to Jamaica from Britain to Jamaica is £1,000 and more, because it's December, so-called high season. That's really the price of 2 fares. It's a rip-off. And it just brings back to mind how Omar Davis sold the rich Heathrow slot to Richard Branson. A slot that would have been earning so much money for Jamaica should never have been sold.
But we don't have no airline now, so that's gone.
Yes, and then Bruce Golding, no, but even with that, they could have, Bruce Golding was wrong to sell Air Jamaica, and even when the Air Jamaica pilot group wanted to buy, he declined, refused from selling them, and sold it to the Trinidadians, which was wrong. The Air Jamaica pilots group wanted to buy it, and they were denied. And even so, Omar Davis still should not have sold the Heathrow slot. And I tell you why. It is one of the most lucrative money-earning slots in aviation.
Airport,
Yes. So all Jamaica would have had to have done to be earning money is to rent the slot to other airlines. Rent it. Don't sell it. Rent it.
As you talk about airline, you hear any rumor at all? I don't know. It's just a rumor here that there's a possibility that England will be easing up on the idea of visas to England? You hear anything like that?
For quite a number of months. Every now and then.
Oh, so you're hearing
I have been here. I've been hearing that. But no official confirmation. But
I know, that's why I say it's a rumor I hear that
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That so far it has just been a rumor. But where this is concerned, I think the best thing to do would be to ask Andrew Holness himself to let him come clear.
Them now, I'll tell you nothing right now. Anyway, we have to move our Virgin. The Virgin come film program. We have to move.
Okay then, Muta. But I'm glad to say that and thing. And Fireburn for British Airways and Virgin who combine to be charging our people expensive
hold on there. I'm not going to agree with you, Virgin, because them tell me take more for going England, you know. If you want
No. When I have to disagree on that because the fear is too much.
Where you take for come out Jamaica?
Muta, that is not the point. When I say Fireburn, is that them operating a thing whereby our people are being charged excessive fears. And our people must boycott. In the high season period, do a boycott thing to force the fears down because it's supply and demand. We have to make a stand.
All right, sir. Give thanks.
All right, that is it.
Yes, give thanks. This is the Cutting Edge on RFM 1. Give thanks to Jody. May I tell you? One last call. All right, go on now. Jody, efficient is the man. May I tell you? Jody, efficient till she can't efficient no more. All right. One last call, she said. Yo. What? Oh, that's an echo. Jody, what that? Jody. Oh, the one last call, a joke. What? It's what? It's him to that, though? Him gone? Well, I saw it go. We don't take no last call. We don't take no last call. Him get up. And the radio make it go so. You serious? And the radio for true, you know. I don't know why with them people. I mean, how much I have to tell them that? I mean, you don't think it's a normal thing, you know, that man take up his phone for talk on the radio, but I just block off from the radio. Why want to hear himself and talk to somebody on the telephone, on the radio? I mean, a madness. It's a madness. It's just an ego thing. You want to hear yourself on the radio. Anyway, thank you, Jody. Yes, Jody, give thanks. We want to thank Jody and we want to thank Romaine, who was here, gone from 12 o'clock. We want to thank Vita from Me Hungry. And Matrix is in the building. Matrix is ready for him program. So, we'll be here again, little more from 2 to 5:45 with the stepping razor, the art of war. So we are going with Babandi, you know.